Semite albinos.
Yeah, I mean, we can't abide by albinos or Jews or, as we discussed, the black people.
And
Are
albinos
we on? Are we online now? Oh, I'm sorry.
ruining the sanctity of beer tube.
Where's Marvin when we need him? Like, really. Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Beer Dweebs United. As per Bylog suggestion, my horn is hanging out. My horn is hanging out. Anyway, first and foremost, what are we all drinking? Let us start with Joseph.
Boulevard's Hibiscus Goza.
Goza.
Nice, nice. How about you, Biggie?
I'm drinking a Kunin Agua. Yummy. Tastes like Bud Light.
But better because it's Kunin, right?
Guy, what
Exactly.
are you drinking?
Hi. Old English.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
I don't
Label out, too. Label out.
How about you, Lee? What are you going to be drinking?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I just finished something a little less disgusting than that. The Guinness American Lager, and now I'm drinking a Hot Pot IPA. So.
Nice, nice. Nicholas, you're up.
I've got a Muskoka Moonlight Kettle Mosaic Hopped APA.
Nice. And what I'm going to be drinking, just because you picked up the old E, is some Miller Lite.
What is happening here? You got the Old English, you got Bud or Miller Lite cheese.
What has happened to beer tube?
I asked for a can from a buddy of mine who was coming from St. Catharines because they're not at the LCBOs here, just to actually do the American Miller Lite. And he picked up 2 cans because he said he wanted to make me drink one on air. So I'm going to drink it on air, and then hopefully I'll never drink it again. I have all craft beers beside me after this one.
A simple question would be, where is Jay for all this?
No.
I think he's still doing one of his examinations of like a beer he's reviewed 8,000 times.
I know, honestly, you don't. Not even Jay. We need Country Chef Beer Boy here. With
Oh,
Miller
God.
Lite and all.
He can tell you all about the fetish beers.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that isn't Miller Lite like everything from Miller a fetish beer, so I guess Chad is drinking one of his fetish
Everything.
beers. Congratulations.
Here's the thing: when everything you fucking drink is a fetish, it's no longer a fetish.
One thing. I just gotta say one thing. Guy, you realize you have to drink that all in one sitting.
In 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm timing you. You got 8 minutes and 37
Gotta
seconds
hold the
left.
label up to the camera while you do it, right? Like this, right?
I don't need a team of 3 to drink one, you know.
Shut up, bitch.
Well, that's a good troll. I approve of that.
That
That's
was
good times right there.
By the way, Marty Fowler is watching. He said, "I wish I could comment as the stream is going on. The stream is now going on. If you refresh your page, and you can comment. You left a comment right there talking about how you wish you could leave comments. So I don't know what to tell you other than that, dude.
Disclaimer, just a quick disclaimer for everybody out there who will comment or watch this tonight. Lee, on a scale of 1 to 10, is about a 300 in his anger right now. He is not a happy camper.
Not having
Who
a good
knows
day.
why? No one really knows why. He's just pissed off.
I woke up on the
Floating
wrong
head is
side.
angry.
I woke up on the wrong side of the universe today, apparently.
That's why his head is floating right now.
I don't know.
So anyone says anything fucking stupid in the comments, I'm gonna fucking call you out on it. Just so you know.
Well, that just asked for a lot of stupid comments.
Yep.
Anyway, first and foremost, for our quick little things in Canadian beer news, Duggan's Brewery Oktoberfest beer release party is this weekend. Duggan's Brewery has announced that it is going to tap an Oktoberfest beer at its brew pub on Toronto's Parkdale neighborhood this weekend, and a Great Bavarian themed party will also take place to commemorate the release. Duggan's number 11 Oktoberfest, because he's still doing everything as numbers, is a 6.6% ABV Golden Lager, and he will also have the number 3 Pilsner and the number 13 Hefeweizen.
Fuck him. His Oktoberfest is a golden lager? Fuck off. What a fucking joke. You're not in Germany selling to tourists, for fuck's sakes. Make a real fucking beer.
Excuse me. Hamilton, Ontario's Garden Brewers has announced the details for the next beer to be released in its Now in Bloom series of limited edition small run beers. This is basically they grow all their own botanicals to put in the brews. So the BFF Porter is is a 5.7 ABV robust porter brewed using fresh hops from Buttram Family Farm, the BFF, in the brew's name, as well as some grown by garden owners Victor and Sonia North. Imported dried hops were also added to augment the small local harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know, Lee, you weren't there for the festival, but they brought 2 beers with them to the fest, and they were both really good beers. And really intrigued on how that went. Some of their small batch series stuff has been amazing. And it's funny to say small batch series on a small batch contract brewer to begin with, but...
Sounds better than a fucking golden lager for Oktoberfest.
We talked about Category 12 Brewing last week, how they were looking for money for their barrel aging program. Well, they just released their Simplicity Ale, and their Simplicity Ale is part of the R&D series of ultra-limited beers. Simplicity Ale is a 5.2% alcohol saison brewed using spent flour. Okay, whatever. Simplicity Ale. It's simple. It's simple. If you're out there. Lake of Bays. Lake of Bays adds Stamp Hammer to its seasonal lineup.
Stamp Hammer.
Stamp Hammer Oak-Aged Amber Lager.
Is that what you use to put a tramp stamp on women?
Then you hammer it from behind.
It's going to be replacing the 10-point IPA, which is good because the 10-point IPA fucking sucked. But the 10-point IPA is now year-round instead of seasonal, so they needed something to put in the seasonal spot. This is a 6.5% ABV strong lager. And it'll be available in 750 milliliter bottles at the Lake of Bays retail store and select LCBOs. And since it's in a 750 milliliter bottle, I'm going to guess it's going to be around $10 for an oak-aged lager. And people are going to buy it and be underwhelmed by it. Spencer Trappist Ale is coming to Western Canada. That's something that's really intriguing for some guys like, say, Jordan and Hugh and anybody in the Calgary, well, anybody in Alberta, period. So yeah, Spencer Trappist Brewery will be having its Spencer Trappist Ale coming into Canada, into Alberta.
Oh, of course it'll be Alberta. But who cares? I mean, anybody talking about those guys? I don't know. I mean, they came out and sounds, oh wow, a Trappist Brewery in the U.S., but I haven't heard jack about it. So.
Matt brought a bottle of it up for us to review at the festival. It was actually pretty good stuff.
Yeah, so there you go. You're shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ewert.
I'll just stick with my Rochefort 10. That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine too. Yeah, it's actually
You win.
a lot cheaper too. Also out of Calgary, and I actually had one beer from these guys, the Village Brewery has announced that due to a recurrence of a production defect that can cause its 1.89 liter growlers to leak or explode, it is recalling all of the in-circulation growlers and will no longer be selling beer in that format effective immediately.
Good plan.
The Village Brewing had similar issues in March of 2014 that also led to a recall, but once new growlers were produced that appeared to lack the defect, they started selling in growlers again. So now they're just, fuck this, we're done with growlers. And you know what? Here's something that somebody like Smirnoff Ice could Diageo could learn from with the Smirnoff Ice products. If you get something fucked up once and give it another chance, and you get it fucked up again, maybe you should move on instead of getting it fucked up a third time and having a third recall for your bottles having glass shards.
Were they making nitro? Were they making nitro beers of nitroglycerin, or like they had?
Basically, they were saying that they're talking about how all their beers have have active yeast because they don't filter and they do on lees and all that, and that the glass just didn't hold it.
Wow, they must be buying for some pretty cheap fucking bottles.
I'm going to assume that they were probably buying from China. Would be my assumption. And I know that you shouldn't assume, but it doesn't tell you where they're getting their bottles from. But I mean, the Chinese manufacturers make nice-looking stuff. It looks proper. It's a lot cheaper, and it's a lot cheaper for a reason.
That's right. It's probably got lead and formaldehyde in it too.
Speaking of Alberta.
Speaking of Alberta.
Speaking of the fucking Chinese.
General Wong.
Who just came in?
Long.
Oh.
Now, here's the question: is his mic going to work? Hey, sounds like his mic works.
New Ontario Brewing officially opened in North Bay. They opened up with a blonde ale, an English pale ale, an IPA, a pumpkin spice ale, and an ESB.
Ugh.
You know what? Who would have thought a pumpkin spice ale would be in your opening lineup?
Yeah.
I give them credit for that.
Fuck spices.
Yeah.
It probably isn't that great. I'll go on and say that because a lot of them aren't. But it's amazing to see that. Like, I would have expected, I don't know, a lager or a saison.
Yeah. But is that like their initial lineup, and it just happens to be a seasonal in their initial lineup?
No, most likely would be my thought, because who keeps... Actually, it would be amazing if that stayed on year-round.
Yeah, but what kind of horrific... Well, actually, you just said pumpkin spice, so there's no real pumpkin in it, probably. So yeah, never mind. I was going to say what kind of horrific.
That's only that's only Nova Scotia that does that.
That's Prince Edward Island that does
Sorry,
that.
PEI,
Get it fucking right. The fucking potato island and fucking
potato ale.
Again with Ottawa, which is becoming bigger than Toronto pretty much in breweries. Stalwart Brewing opening soon near Ottawa in Carleton Place. They will be opening with a Big Papa, which is a peach and apricot pale ale. Actually, that kind of sounds nice. Yes. Bad Moon Ride In, which is a rye stout.
Oh, that's terrible.
A rye stout, and the Dr. Feelgood, a lemony, creamy, and dry IPA. Actually, you know what? I like that opening lineup.
So what kind of bottle formats or cans, what they're starting with? Do you know?
Well, the exact opening co-founders are aiming to have beer flowing by late October and early November. It does not say what they're going to be selling in. I'm going to assume just growlers.
That terrible pun for the rye beer should justify them being shut down by the government.
I thought you hated the government.
I like it if they shut down people who use bad puns.
Start a new party.
And lastly, this one's in Nova Scotia. Firkenstein Brewing, now open in Nova Scotia.
What party?
Right.
Firkenstein.
Another brewery I'll probably never go to.
The growlers look amazing. They look to be like ceramic hand-painted growlers.
What part of Nova Scotia did they say?
Bridgewater, Nova Scotia.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's fairly close.
Firkenstein Brewing was launched last week in Bridgewater and is currently selling growlers of its flagship Northeastern Ale, a 7.5% ABV and 55 IBU strong ale brewed with Cascade hops, exclusively via home delivery in the region.
Cascade hops? Oh my god, Cascade hops?
Cascade. How imaginative.
Sign me up, baby. I never had any of those before. You kidding me?
Crazy.
Cascade all over my
the
chest.
growlers are $12 plus an $8 deposit.
Whoa. No, not happening. Not fucking happening at all. Sorry. I'm not paying $20 for a growler. Fuck you. I don't care if the refills are like $5. I'm not paying $20 for a fucking growler.
Well, the refills are $12.
Yeah, I'm not paying that for the fucking refills. Fuck you.
$20 for growlers if the beer's like 15%.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jesus.
Like 12 to 15%.
That's ridiculous.
Like those stainless steel growlers from Pump House.
Yeah.
Unless topless girls are involved, maybe.
Yeah. Well, even then, I'm kind of reluctant. Call me when you got
Well,
bottles.
I don't know.
Proper.
$12 for a growler fill isn't that bad, but that's coming from a guy here in Ontario.
Yeah,
Where
and
they're usually 15.
I'm probably out of what the general standard of the market is now, since it's been so long since I filled a growler. So who knows?
$12 isn't that bad. I mean, usually the NB liquor fill-ups cost anywhere between 10 and 15. So
Well, that's what I'm saying, and you got to understand it all depends on the beer. Like, there's a huge difference between a 4.5% lager and a fucking 12% imperial stout.
you're gonna pay a lot more for like a True de Diable something or something.
Yeah, and also the brewery as well. Yeah, I mean it's.
I found what's it called? Saint Bernardus Christmas Ale for $27 a growler out here.
A growler?
Yeah.
Wow, weird.
I don't know if you want to drink an entire growler of that.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I'd buy like a 750 of it, but
I mean, Lee would.
And then growlers themselves out here range from $5 to $30 for the actual bottle itself, mattering where you're at and what you're buying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's the same here. I mean, like, the rare occasions, like a beer like Bourbon County Stout, I only mention them because you know how expensive and hard to get it is. If you want a 32-ounce growler around here, that shit's like $25. That's crazy expensive, right? But if you can't get it any other way, then fucking suck it up or don't buy it.
Well, I'm not even. I'm just talking about the bottle itself is between five and 30.
$30 for a fucking growler itself.
Yeah.
that's fucked.
There's a few of them that are in the $20 to $30 range.
The Italian style ones that look so pretty.
The Innocente one is expensive as fuck. The one from Alora is expensive as fuck. The one from Steam Whistle, the metal one Nickelbrook uses, those ones are all expensive.
Let me tell you what's fucked up about that.
Fucking growler, it better be worth it, you know. It better be a nice growler, and they'd also better let me bring my own growler to fill up.
There in the states there are some in the states there are some states. Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. In the states, there's some states that there's actually laws where it has to be branded their own growler, otherwise you can't.
Yeah,
just,
that is in a lot of places around the world.
Those Italian growlers, the Italian style growlers, like the Innocente and Stone, was like one of the first, I think, American breweries to do it. A fucking gas station in New York, and I think there might be other places, Sunoco, they fucking sold those unbranded or said like craft beer growler club or whatever because they have the growler stations at these fucking gas stations. $8 to $10. So fuck all these places charging 25 to 30 because their logo's on it or it's a fucking Italian style growler. That just proves right there.
Yeah, it's all branding.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, I look over at my wall of growlers over there, and I think all of them are $5 except for 3 of them. One was a $10 growler, and the other 2 were $20 and $25.
Is that right next to your wall of dead hooker vaginas?
Yes.
That's Paul's dungeon, just to be clear. I can't wait to go to Coonan's next month, Coolahans or Carunahans or Coonans, and get they have 16-ounce growlers. So
the demi growlers.
Well, I always thought demi growlers were 32 ounces.
Yeah, you're right. Demi growlers are 32.
But no, but some places call howlers as 32-ounce growlers as well. You were like that. I don't even know what to call them.
Howlers and demi growlers are usually the same thing. Yeah. It's just how they say it. Because one is a half growler, which is a liter, and the other is a demi, also a half growler.
Would that be a half howler then? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I've seen
what
those
is
too.
it? What is it? Just a little tiny bottle?
It's 16 ounces, so it's like a.
No, wait. No. 16 ounces? Nobody has those.
I thought you said they had 16-ounce ones.
I had one that came from Terra Firma, which is a brewery on the northwest side of the state, and I had it. Coonan actually filled it, even though they'd never seen one before. But it was a growler. Or a whatever micro growler.
So they will. So does Michigan have it where you can fill any growlers?
No, they will not fill any growler. They'll fill a lot of them. The ones they won't fill are the cheap ones that you see, like they're cheaper, they're just cylindrical. They have no neck on it. They're just a little stubby, black swans. They wouldn't fill any black swans.
So the demi growlers.
Just so you know, Joe, the king is silent, and actually the entire name of that brewery is pronounced Dick and Mouth.
I like it.
So our first bit of news here is this here. Anheuser-Busch is acquired in Golden Road Brewing. Now, I didn't even know there was a Golden Road Brewing. It's in Los Angeles. And yeah, apparently they make just canned beer, super fresh canned beer. They do something like 320,000 barrels of beer a year, so they're actually really, really small. And yeah, they're getting bought up.
We need Ryan Rashawn on here to tell us about it, because he's probably the only one who knows about that brewery.
I've heard of them. I just haven't heard of Anheuser-Busch. I don't know what the fuck.
What brewery?
Golden Road.
Do they have a golden shower line? Because that would be awesome.
They've been open since 2011, and they've been doing fresh canned beer for the local area.
So the cans are fresh?
Yes, the cans are fresh.
Fresh milk.
Nice. Crown cans.
Growlers. Growlers. Fucking growlers.
Crowlers.
Yes, canned growlers.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like,
Scheiße.
I wish there was more crawlers around. There's only a few
Fucking
places
right.
doing those.
Crawlers are awesome. They're absolutely just.
And
Every should buy them.
I wouldn't expect that the machine costs all that much.
I think it's $3,000 for the actual machine.
Yeah, see, that's a great investment for a brewery.
And I'm just going to put it out there again. I put it out there on Facebook, but someone has to jump on calling one of their beers Ale-Stir Crowley. They have to do it. Come on now. And sell it only in crowlers, make it a dark ale, dark lager, whatever the fuck you want to do.
I think I might buy that machine, the canning machine, and just fill cans with my urine and call it The Way She Goes.
You could sell it, instead of growlers, you sell it in piss jugs, though.
Yes. It's
You're
nice.
right. You're right, though, Chad. Like the crawlers, the machine itself, such a great investment, and it's such a good way for people to not have to worry about growlers themselves, like the freshness or the carbonation or any of that stuff going. You know, it's going to be good for a long while, and it's much easier to transport and to trade and to just carry back. You don't have to worry about anything. Take trips and it's so much better.
You're a fucking genius, by the way. Next season of fucking Trailer Park Boys, it has to be all about them starting a brewery, and they're selling their stuff in those water jugs.
piss jug.
And at some point they find out, wait, these are my dad's old piss jugs.
They already pimped out like Propeller, the brand, on their fucking last movie. Just good collaboration, fucking.
Oh yeah, they've been pimping it the entire run of the series. They've just been like plotting it out until Propeller finally gave them the go ahead.
Golden shower goes.
I'm gonna have a St. Ambrose apricot wheat ale now.
Ooh.
That's
And
good
I
shit.
did just post a link for you guys. So our next topic is another new, mind-blowing
Oh, these pieces of shit.
extension of the beer industry. So we've had all these glasses that have come out recently that will change the way you drink beer. And this, I just posted you guys a link. I don't know, Lee, if you can post the link on the YouTube page or. If
Okay, I will.
I
yeah.
remember posting
So
that
if
shit.
any of you watching want to look at them, Lee's posting a link right now. This is the new glasses that are supposed to change the way you taste beer. Basically, they're fairly straight. They're fairly. There are some nice angles in it, almost like a stealth bomber. And there's like a big wine bottle indent in the bottom.
No, that's not a wine bottle in it. You're supposed to put your tip right in there. Like you just gently nudge the tip
Instead
right
of
in
putting
there.
it,
You
instead
just
of
sit
putting
it
it on a
right on your lap.
table. Yeah, exactly. You're on top of it, Lee. Sit on your lap, easy access.
Yeah.
Alright, if you want the pricing, go to SEMPLI.com, and it's the monthly test set is $100.
Yeah, and individually.
$100?
Hang on. Individually, you want to buy individual glasses from the set. $55 a piece.
Woo, fuck you.
You know what? The guy that does the pretentious glass company, his glasses are expensive, but at least they look cool. You know, you have the butt plug glass and this and that. This is, who cares? Like, I'm looking at these glasses, and there's one that looks kind of interesting, and the other ones are not worth $25 a glass. I don't care if they're fucking hand blown or not.
Hey, bitch, please. The Salvo bottle opener is $35.
And blowing. You know there's a lot of blowing going on with these fucking glasses. Jesus Christ.
Like the one that looks like it's a enemy from Star Fox. Okay, sure, I can take that one. But the other three, no.
Do a barrel roll.
I don't get it.
They have a special limited edition butt plug for $400.
You need one after fucking buying one of those glasses. Jesus Christ.
But you'd really want to buy the set for $100 if single glasses are $55.
Monty
Yeah.
flute over glass. It's just a fucking flute glass made out of gold, I guess. $75.
Yeah, it's got the triangular or cone-shaped indentation. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
You know the sad thing about it? A lot of fucking people will fall for it. And they will. And they'll make a lot of money. And people are going to realize it really doesn't make their beer taste any better. It's going to be so great.
No, they're gonna think that it's amazing out of the
Oh, yeah.
glasses.
So you think Dar's going to buy any of these? Think these will show up on Dar's channel at some
He
point?
probably has fucking stock
Listen.
in the company.
No, he's not even that bad. That's saying something.
Wow.
I went to the last page. They sell the same glasses upside down cut and can use that as a lamp cover. I'm not kidding.
I don't understand.
Oh, Jesus.
1,150. Oh, fuck this shit.
Even E over there is just like, oh my god, why?
He's not even saying anything about it. He's usually a glass Nazi.
Is that some Forked River
Mm-hmm.
coffee porter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it shit?
It's okay. It's available at the LCBO. Local beer wasteland.
What about that?
No, it's not in my beer wasteland, good sir.
No.
It's in your area of Ontario.
No.
You know, I actually have a guy from BC that wants to do a bunch of beer trading with me, and that's great and happy because lots of beers in BC I haven't had, so I'm excited about that. But he's asking me about a lot of different breweries here, and I'm like, I don't know if you're aware of the way the Ontario beer market is, but just because the brewery's in Ontario does not mean I will ever see a beer from it unless I drive the 8 hours to get to the brewery.
Ontario's a big province, boy.
Who's tried it so far?
What's that?
I haven't seen it yet.
I don't even know what you have.
The Weiser's hopped whiskey.
Oh yeah, I reviewed it. I liked it.
Yes.
Zoom in
Nice.
just to see this. It's not fucking working.
Your camera's shit.
You see, dude, there's pieces of what I'd assume is hibiscus in my fucking thing. Not. They didn't do a good job filtering that whatsoever. Holy shit! It looks like pieces of hair. I don't know what happened.
That's from you, Joe.
No, I wish it was.
Some really hairy dude dipped his balls in it.
It's probably the rhino. It's kind of white.
I think we should, before we move on to the next thing, we should just get the comments here real quick.
Yes, if we have any from the two people watching.
Comment. CUMANT.
Yeah, okay. Winter's Coming says, cheers, guys. Stay tuned for a couple more amateur reviews from yours truly in the coming days.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I didn't know he did reviews until like yesterday. That's cool.
How did you find out?
Here, I thought I was being a dick. Ryaka says, I'm having some homemade Bush Light Micheladas, finishing up a 30-pack, apparently.
Why?
Wow.
What just happened?
Doing
like-
chiladas, homemade chiladas.
Bush Light makes.
No,
No,
he's
he's-
making
He did it himself. That's all.
Yeah, he has a 30-pack of Bush Light, and he's making chiladas with them.
What?
Better than I guess actually buying them pre-made. I'd imagine.
I would imagine that they taste a lot better. maybe.
Probably. They can't taste any worse. Price from a local brewery, he says, and this is growlers and stuff. First timers, $16 standard, $25 for big beers. Refills are $11 for standard beers, $20 for big beers. The growlers are 64 ounces.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, that's like 64 ounces is what 8 ounces less than a 6-pack. So $11 for a regular fill is fine.
It's pretty reasonable, I guess.
64 ounces is the 1.89 liter, is it not?
We get to see what Beer Zerker actually looks like outside of the helmet.
Well, he's been on here like that before. What do you mean?
I've seen it. It's horrific. Oh wait, he's on here.
It's a train wreck.
And Jay says he'd like to have an invite if possible.
Must have been that Miller Lite that Chad was getting into.
What are you drinking, Berserker?
Nelson's After Dark Brown Ale from
Nice.
Nelson's Brewery, and Ribstone Creek's Old Man Winter Porter.
Nice.
And did we ask Jordan what he was drinking?
No, we just assumed it was Bush. What are you drinking, Jordan?
Gigantic IPA from Portland, Oregon.
I actually had the Bose collab with Gigantic IPA, their B-side. I've never had the actual Gigantic IPA itself, but the B-side label looks a lot like that label.
Yeah, it's really nice artwork. It's very simple, but eye-catching.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, first topic then, other than those glasses and the Anheuser-Busch takeover. So third topic is Guinness Nitro IPA. Now this I actually find hysterical because we talked about Nitro IPAs and cask IPAs last week. And then Guinness announces that there's a Nitro IPA coming to the U.S. I did contact Diageo USA, and they said that there is a hopeful plan to bring it to Canada. Whether or not it comes is up in the air. But I actually am intrigued to try it, and I still think that Nitro and cask IPAs are not at all what you should be drinking. They need that effervescence to be good.
Yeah.
But I'm still intrigued to try it.
It'll be interesting, and I'm sure it will show up. I mean, like I said, the Guinness Blonde Lager or American Lager finally showed up here, so I assume the rest of their shit eventually is going to show up.
Hey, they owe you 2 recipes. Ask them send you a pallet and spread it across.
No, this is Guinness, not Innocent Gun. Guinness. Guinness.
Well, they just got to walk over the street, right?
I have a question for you, Lee. Did it change the face of macro like Raiding on Your Parade said it would?
No, it did not.
Well, that's
Raiding on Your Parade is out of his fucking mind because, and I'm sorry, I have more respect for him than York does apparently, but
I like him. I just found it funny because he was like, "Hey, try to get it up to those guys when it first came out." He's like, "It's gonna change the face of macro as we know it."
No, spoilers because I probably won't post a review until like 3 months later. But 2.75 out of 5. It's not that great. It's it's acceptable, but it's not anything memorable that I'd want to buy
I think the biggest problem with it is you're paying for the Guinness name, and if you wanted to drink that, if you wanted to drink a beer like that, you could save a lot of money just buying something domestic.
Yeah, I didn't know what the price was. I didn't ask my brother because he actually bought the 6-pack. He's like, "You want one? Yeah, sure, I'll have one." I assume it's probably like $15 or more for a 6-pack here. So yeah, I'm never gonna buy it again. It's probably the same price as their fucking black lager, which was So yeah, fuck that shit. But
Is that an official review?
So the question that came up when this Guinness announcement was made was from Stephen Beaumont. He asked, is this them actually being inventive, or is this them jumping on a bandwagon? And in all honesty, who cares either way? But it's probably a bit of both.
It is. It definitely is.
Them making an IPA is kind of jumping on a bandwagon, but them making a Nitro IPA is kind of being creative because how many of them are out there?
Yeah, because jumping on an IPA, you're jumping on a bandwagon that's like 15 to 20 years old now. So, congratulations there, guys. Awesome.
Hey, it's all right. They're being somewhat creative. How many Nitro IPAs are out there?
The fact that they're
that's
not
exactly what I'm saying.
None. There's a reason why.
Yeah, you hate Nitro. You were blah blah blah.
I fucking hate cask IPAs.
Nitro, not cask.
Whatever. It's the same fucking. Like Rhino said, it takes away from effervescence. It fucking kills it.
And it does. I've had fucking Left Hand did their pale ale, Sawtooth pale ale. They, I think, were the first like hop forward style that they actually took and put it in bottles. It's kind of like their Left Hand Milk Stout Nitro, and it did. It just kind of muted everything you want in a pale ale, and you're kind of left with an awesome mouthfeel, great, but it's just kind of like drinking an average beer at that point.
Oh, try it. I'll definitely buy it. Check it out. I don't expect to get blown away by it. Well, it is business, so.
I would like to see more styles made with Nitro because I think, despite what Ewart says, which is Guinness's opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions as well, but you never know what style might work well with it. Like, there's a reason why stouts work well with it, because it mutes the flavors, but in a lot of those stouts, they're already big, so while you dial them back maybe 25%, you still get a lot of the good flavor, and then you have an awesome mouthfeel on top of it. So,
well, yeah, it's just like barrel aging in different barrels. I mean, different barrels work for different styles. Some styles don't work in barrels, some do. Nitro is the same thing. Some styles will work with it, some styles really won't.
Yeah,
The only way to do it.
Ewart has a good point, though. I don't drink pale ales or IPAs for like that smooth, creamy mouthfeel, though. Like that's not what I'm looking for if I'm drinking one of those beers. So it's going to be weird. I'm excited to try it, but it sounds like it's going to be like more of a gimmick than anything else.
And
Mouthfeel.
good day, Jay. What's going on?
Mr. Terrio.
Hello. Where's Marvin? Hey, don't see him. Anyway, I'm drinking Modelo Especial.
Negro Modelo.
Is that what you were?
Not Negro. Not Negro.
Oh, right. It's the Modelo Especial. We get that here now, but I haven't had a chance.
Actually, yeah, we have the special in clear bottles sitting on a shelf at the LCBOs, and you can get cans of it at the beer store. So I'm probably going to buy a can of it to review.
Yeah, we got the cans and the bottles too. Yeah. Is that what you were examining tonight, Jay?
Yes. Yes, and can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm drinking it out of this Negro Modelo tulip glass, which was sent to me by the company, by the way. Thank you, Grupo Modelo.
So is it the best tulip glass you've ever drank out of?
Yes, in fact, it is.
What he's saying is proper glassware. That's what he's saying.
Now, I
Not the
drank
hashtag.
this before you came in tonight. I was having a Miller Lite.
Ooh, that's a fine Pilsner beer. Now,
I'm having this.
Now, you know, I'm not a big fan of Miller Lite, but I must say this is room temperature. It's cellar temperature. Cellar temperature, so if there was imperfections, they'd be there, and there wasn't any. So I can't say anything bad, just it's not my thing.
Okay, Chad, let me ask you an honest question. Better Pilsner, Miller Lite, Labatt Blue, go.
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite, I would agree. Labatt Blue is gross.
Labatt Blue.
I like Labatt Blue.
How dare you shit on Canadians' finest Pilsner, guys? What are you doing?
Canada's finest Pilsner. They don't even have Pilsner on the Labatt bottles or cases anymore, but it's still on the Blue Light. The Blue Light is still considered a Pilsner according to that.
A, it's from Quebec. B, it's French. It doesn't count as Canada.
They don't taste the same. Shush.
But yeah, like Miller Lite,
Yeah,
I can't make any complaints about it. And I drank it at cellar temperature, not cold. So if anything was there that I wouldn't like, I would have found it. Can't make any complaints. Just I could probably drink it camping or something like that. It's just not something I would buy normally.
was it better than the 1979 bottle of Miller High Life?
Well, actually, you know what? That bottle was weird because it had a lot of flavor. It was flavors that scared me. it actually smelled like a well-aged barley wine.
I prefer Nick's aged beer we had all together. It was way better.
The Superbock.
Oh yeah, the Superbock. I actually went out and I bought some coffee filters so that I can actually start trying to put some of these in my intestinal tract and not die.
I feel better. I feel more comfortable in the Santa Claus and the Brooklyn Monster and the Old Stock Ale that I have on age right now.
Well, I still have a box of old age beers. I have a Moosehead from the '70s over there and stuff to do too.
Oh my!
Nice.
Now, another piece of news here for Big E. Big E, are you going to start drinking Stone? Because Stone Brewing co-founder Greg Koch is transitioning out of his role of the CEO to an executive chairman.
Unfortunately, I think he'll be even a bigger mouthpiece, and thereby even less of me a likelihood that I'll ever drink their shit. As long as he keeps talking, I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm just telling you.
This is an example of when two douchebags collide. Their negative energy repels each other.
Exactly. I'm just if one day he ever tackles me on my couch at home, then maybe I'll drink his beer.
Then you know you made it in beer tubing land.
Tackling all manly like.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, don't worry, I'll show you guys the outtakes.
Oh, Jesus.
We're nothing but our underwear.
Oh,
I got a long beard though.
Yeah, exactly.
Shrimp's done.
It'll be beard on beard action.
God.
All that yeast.
Fucking Fruit of the Looms tickle fest going on. Jesus.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Why did you just?
If that day ever happens, I will buy their stuff voluntarily. I have since had a stone beer, even though I didn't want to, because I was tricked into drinking it because of the bland tasting.
Oh, you were tricked.
Oh,
Duggan.
I was tricked. I was said, hey, someone offered me a beer. Said, hey, try this, you'll like it. And I said, what is it? He's like, just try it. And of course, it was like a enjoy buy. And of course, my buddy Derek did that to me.
And it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was damn good. It was damn. It was damn good. And I've never said the beer isn't good. I'm just like, I just cannot stand the dude, and I just like, you know what?
Just like when the punter was down here, not the punter, sorry, the honey monster, and he went off and off and off about a Duggan beer. We dumped that Duggan beer into a bottle of Southern Tier beer and handed it to him, and he loved it then.
It's not a question of taste. It's a question of I just don't jive with him. I don't like what he says. I don't like how he carries himself. He is the brand, and he turns me off. It's just like, you're an asshole. I don't want to give you my business. It's that simple.
Let me ask you a question. I'm confused a little bit. Oh wait, now I'm getting a question from
Yes.
Cass, Cozell, Holston. No, I've never had any of those.
Mm-hmm.
I watch you many times on these hangouts, but I don't think I've ever personally spoken to you. But why do you dislike him so much? I don't know much about him.
Brothers and sisters. If you've ever seen that, it's just like, he is the most pompous, full of himself. He is the epitome of everything that's douchey about CEOs or leaders of any organization. In the craft beer world, you want these guys to be a little more humble, and he is the opposite of that. And everything he says is a big turnoff, and it's just like, it's a brand I can barely get behind in general. They make good beer, but the branding, everything is arrogant. He is the arrogant bastard, right?
Oh, you can't take this shit fucking serious, dude. It's pro wrestling. He's a fucking heel, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. I'll take the John Cena's or the Sam Caljones, all right, of the world before I drink that stuff.
He is the beer snob of the brewing world. And again, like he was talking about with the brothers and sisters, if you've listened to him talk in public a lot of times,
he preaches.
He preaches, and he's very condescending about how.
Yeah, I won't do it. I don't know.
You know what he is? He's your typical beer snob with a higher profile. That's all it is. You know how many beer snobs are in just beer in general?
Well, that's just it. Right?
And how many leave breweries?
He is a full-on beer snob. He just has international stages to speak on.
He does.
Yeah. Does he ever talk about how all stone beers taste the same? Because if you ever drink stone beer, you'll notice that they all kind of taste the same. I mean, they're good, but they don't really taste too different from each other. They have like a house style. It's like a profound house style.
Yeah, and that's probably true. I think Mitch Steele goes with what works, and that's, you know. But here's the other thing too. He had the crowdsourcing campaign. That was, I think, the final straw for me. That was sort of it. Like, they're going to try.
When you made like $7 million in profits after everything was said and done, and then you try to get more money out of people so you don't have to use those profits.
Yeah, I was done there. I think that was the last straw. But I already hated the guy. So,
do you think he would sell out if he had the chance?
I don't think he would.
No,
I doubt it. Based on what they're trying to do now,
I actually think that he is one of the few breweries that would not have a number that would make him sell it.
His ego's too big.
Well, his ego's too big, and he's going across the globe now. Like, he's going to have 2 breweries in the U.S. He's going to have that one over in Europe. He's not going to sell. He's gonna be the craft version of the big guys.
But then again, I would
need to sell out exactly.
6 months ago, I think they would have said the same thing about Tony McGee and Lagunitas, honestly.
So, I understand too.
I have no idea.
Greg and Tony are very different in terms of age, and Tony answers to no one but Tony, whereas Greg answers to Mitch because they were partners when they started. So,
well, isn't this guy you're talking about? Is he sort of like a Flashpoint personality, sort of like Jim Cook of Boston Brewing Company?
Because I know ways he actually is, yeah.
a lot of people can't stand him either. You know, he's just like.
Well, Jim Cook sounds like an actual like full of fucking asshole in a lot of ways. So Jim Cook, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's one common denominator there, and that's the last name.
Yeah, that's true. But I was just bringing that up because I know a lot of people get really irate about him, you know.
But I think with some of the things that Greg says is definitely more antagonistic than what Jim says.
Yeah,
People don't like Jim because he makes a ton of money and has been extremely successful. People don't like Greg because he comes off like a pompous ass.
Yeah, he's very condescending. Yeah.
I think what you're picking up on here is I grew up in an area steeped in cultage, and you don't like the death cult vibe of his beer preaching, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of Charles Manson in there, maybe.
So basically, what you're saying is that Greg Cook, at some point, he's going to build a commune in South America, and he's going to get a lot of his devotees to follow him down there, and eventually they're going to drink the purple Kool-Aid, but the purple Kool-Aid's going to be, Stone Imperial Porter fucking laced with something, and
it's an ongoing concern.
Yodi.
I guess.
Flavor Aid.
No, it is.
Flavor Aid.
Anyone who does that, it kind of, is going to kind of freak you out if it comes across like that, right?
Well, wait, now, Lee is bringing up this point about Jim Jones, 1978 Guyana, but does Greg Cook Koch, does he have followers that are devoted to him like that?
Oh, yeah, he's got fanboys.
Look at
I mean, that's just being an ass, but it kind of gives off that vibe, kind of that, I think I was raised around it,
If he can drag like several thousand hipsters to him down to South America to all be killed by cyanide-laced fucking arrogant bastard, that's actually probably a good thing.
I think
hipster culture is dying out.
Oh, don't use the word hipster around here. Here we go. No, I think I think what it comes down to is all these brewery owners, they get to the point where they have egos. Some are bigger than others, and some know how to keep them in line. And Greg Cook does not. Jim Cook, I don't want to say that I've ever heard like really terrible things, or he doesn't preach like Ewart says, but he does come off as.
Well, he's
entertaining though. Like he's entertaining. Like if I watch a beer brewer, like let's say Stone puts on a little presentation like they do, you find him on YouTube and stuff. He's kind of entertaining to watch. He's,
Well, I think I mean, if you just look at some of the labels like Greg has produced or whatever they've come up with at Stone, like the whole fizzy yellow beer things, like he is one of the first actual beer snobs that I can recall. He says on his label, "Stop drinking, fizzy yellow piss water." Like he's telling you can't like that or don't like that because I say so. Drink my product that is superior.
Sublimely self-righteous. There's one for you. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a lot of people that don't know, that aren't really into craft beer yet, and that's the entry level thing for them is a Stone beer, and someone's saying this is why it's good. That's what
and that's fine. They make good beer. I will give them that. But it just there's so much to drink. I'm going to choose not to drink theirs, and that's it.
But don't you think it's bad to let personal animosity towards an arrogant brewer interfere with your drinking is like a bad thing? You know what I mean? Like
interfere with my drinking. Like I said, there's a shit ton of stuff for me to drink that's good. And you know what? And just for my personal taste, if there's a guy the Owls of Hampton, that guy from Pizza Boy, he's acting like a jerk off. His business is going to be affected by it. I'm going to stand behind the guy that I don't like what you stand for. I don't like how you carry yourself as a leader of your business. I'm not going to support you. And I'm not telling anybody to follow me. That's just me personally. It's like if I choose not to eat pork because I don't like the way they treat pigs.
Well,
for whatever reason, that's my own personal choice. I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it.
10, 15, 20 years ago, what you're saying, Jay, would probably be right up there. I mean, you're hamstringing yourself if you're denying somebody just because they're dickheads. But now there's over 3,000 craft breweries in the U.S. There's over, huge amounts of big guy breweries that make some good beer too. In Ontario alone, there's over 200 breweries, like craft breweries, and then you add the big guys and all their subsidiaries. We have like 300 breweries here. I can completely avoid a brewery and never know that I missed out on something good because I'll always find something good.
The thing about Stone, I think, is that you may not like them or whatever, but I think they've done a lot for craft beer.
Oh, they have.
You know,
I mean that's indisputable. He has done a lot for craft beer. He's also done a lot for pushing the beer snob agenda in my mind. Like we were talking about the don't drink fizzy yellow beer, don't do this, don't do that. Brothers and sisters, do not.
Oh yeah, that's just a bunch of marketing hogwash. But like I'm thinking about all the beers he's missing out on. Lucky Bassart, not arrogant bastard necessarily, although I like that one. How about Double Bastard? How about those are two good ones right there. Lucky Bassart.
But I've had all these things, and they're good, but, there's a lot of amazing beers that I've had once that I haven't revisited because there's just so much to get to. There's just so much to do, and it's just like...
yeah, it's impossible. You can't cover it all.
Exactly, and if I have to make a choice about who I'm going to drink and who I'm not going to drink, I have to make a choice for a reason or another, other than arbitrary. So I'm going to make a decision for a reason, and I don't like him, so it's an easy one to do.
Here's the thing: you don't have to explain yourself.
No, Jay asked the question, so I figured it's not about defending myself. I just want to explain my side.
I'm just what your choice is the same as anyone else who arbitrarily will not drink macro beer, other than the fact that they're big.
That's true too.
I mean, they don't have a specific reason other than you're just a big company. I'd rather support the smaller, locally owned places.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Average Joe, I'm not saying that he has to explain himself. I was just curious. Like, it's
I didn't even mean it in conjunction with your actual question. I was just saying, like, for like 10 minutes, he keeps telling us. I mean, you can do whatever you want, and that's the great thing about this country and Canada. You can do what you want, you can drink what you want, and you can make the choices you want when it comes specifically to drinking beer. And it's not going to hurt Stone one iota. It's not going to hurt them at all. And Greg Cook couldn't care less what Ewart out of Windsor, Ontario, Canada says about his product. He doesn't give a rat's ass. He wasn't in your living room tackling you. It doesn't matter. You're irrelevant.
Unless this is all a sneaky little setup, and all of a sudden Ewart's channel is going to start up again with him getting tackled.
This is just one.
I will mention that I have visited Windsor on more than one occasion, and I was very pleased the times I visited Windsor, Ontario.
Well, that's the first person to ever say that, Jay.
You got to go to Walkerville to make excellent beer.
It's a Little Sin City. That's what they call our place. And
here's the thing. I have at this point, Ewart has a better chance of starting up his.
And me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hilarious. Fucking hilariously.
I actually am thinking about reviving my channel, if you can believe it or not. I was having temptations today. If I did...
Well, do it so I don't have to unsubscribe to you, because I'm starting to filter people out here now. Come on.
Like you were saying though, like Pizza Boy. Like I've always wanted to try some Pizza Boy stuff, and I don't know. Like I still want to try it, but I don't know if I would after all the things that have gone on, because I've made enough fun of everything he's done. It's just pissed me off. Like every single time he's in the news right now, I just want to punch the guy. I don't even know. I just want to punch him.
Yeah.
Kanye West of brewing or something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Chad. I went down and visited Paul, and probably going to go again in the next couple months. And that place was on my list of like months ago before any of this shit happened. Like I was like, man, I hear they make good sours. They always have like a shit ton of beers on tap, whether it's their own plus awesome beers. And I was like, heard great things about it. No interest now to even go anywhere near that brewery or buy anything from them ever. That's how much it just turned off. Just one person.
What happened?
The guy is basically Greg Cook times 4 billion. Easy way to put it.
Without going into all the news articles, he's badmouthed all of his customers. He's badmouthed Sam Calagione there for his letter asking him to stop naming his beer the exact same as his.
Oh, yeah. Exact same, similar.
Oh, yeah.
He actually produced a beer, and I think it was a joke at first, but he actually produced it. Haters Tears. He actually got beer.
Based on Facebook or social media lashback And the simple fact that
and he made a glass that says "haters tears" on it. It's got a baby face on one side of crying. I'm like, oh, I have to have this glass. I need this glass.
He's actually the bigger pussy because he sits there. That's just the typical fucking argument. Oh, someone who criticized you, they're obviously crying about something. Fuck you. They're criticizing you. Fucking step up like a fucking man and fucking acknowledge the criticism instead of trying to play it off like someone's just a little bitch crying.
Hey, Nick.
What? Done.
Oh boy, that was a little bit longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit.
That wasn't 10 minutes.
That was 45.
No, fucking online drinking community for you, sir.
Yep, tonight.
Forgot to eat a snack with it on camera.
That's right.
So,
Those or something.
there was a list put out by Esquire magazine. I normally don't like Esquire magazine's lists, but this is actually a list that streamed Ewart to me. He already said he didn't try any of these, but 10 great beers you will never taste. So this is like full-on white whales. So number one, Toppling Goliath Kentucky Brunch Brand Stout. The absolute hottest beer at the moment may very well be a barrel-aged coffee stout.
Kentucky? Is that the one that makes the sorry, Chad. Is that the bourbon? They make the bourbon Kentucky fucking beer?
No.
No, different one. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, there are 300 to 400 bottles made each time, straight from the brewery. It is the highest rated beer in the world on BeerAdvocate.com, and it's so coveted that it inspired a fucking counterfeit scandal last year.
I heard a rumor that What Cheers Beers has a fridge full, but won't share them with anyone. Unconfirmed right now, but that's what I heard.
Well, they're going to last long. If they're any more, they're in like 5 weeks. It's fucked.
You know what happened with that beer and counterfeit? This is how ridiculous beer has gotten.
What beer is this?
Toppling Goliath, Kentucky Breakfast Brunch.
Yeah.
So there's like I said, 300-400 bottles made, and they're waxed. So there was a guy, I want to say is a Beer Advocate, but it could have like spilled over to Facebook, and somewhere on social media on one of the big beer sites. And this guy was trading his Kentucky Breakfast Brunch, and he was trading with people. And what he was doing was cutting open the wax, opening the bottles, drinking the beer, putting a different beer in there, recapping it, re-waxing it, and trying to get it almost to the exact same that the original was, and then selling them to people or trading them for like a shit ton of stuff because obviously it's an uber white whale that everybody needs to have. And finally people got onto his nonsense after like 3 or 4 people were like, so I'm drinking this and I don't taste anything like the beer should be. Like, it's a stout of some kind, but I don't think it's the stout I should be drinking. And finally, he got caught. I don't remember what happened to him, but yeah, they started counterfeiting. This guy counterfeited that beer to get more whales for himself.
Wow, that sounds like when back in the day in high school when me and my friend Peter sold a bunch of potheads fucking dried celery and told them it was like, extremely great weed. And then later on we actually had a couple of them come back to us saying that was the best pot they ever smoked.
Oh my lord!
I'm so high right now, man.
At least the majority of these guys knew that it wasn't a world-class beer. At least they were onto it. It would have been hilarious if they came back and been like, "This is the greatest beer ever." That guy's probably been like, "Yeah, it was a nice 1050, huh? You guys have fun with that?" I paid $4 for it.
Most of them probably just said it was 93 garbage.
Probably, maybe 93. I knew you were in trouble once I saw a 12-ounce bottle type of thing going on. I don't know.
Any more on this, or can we just jump to comments for a sec?
You can
jump to comments and then we'll go through the list some more.
Okay. Well, actually, I'll go to comments and we'll get back to Jordan, and then we'll go to the list because Jordan had something to say. Rykus said in relation to beer glasses, he'd pay $1 to $3 for a glass, and that's the most he's going to do, which I totally agree with. You don't need these big fancy glasses. Jason,
yes, you do.
Fuck you. Jason Furness says, "Hi, all from Scotland." And hey, hi, thanks for staying up this fucking late. It's it's
good
like,
day from Ontario, Nova Scotia, New York, Louisiana, New Brunswick, Alberta. I think that's it all.
Yeah, it's like what, maybe 12 or 1 o'clock in Scotland at the moment. Actually, it's probably
I think
1 o'clock, 1 or 2. Yeah,
five hours, I think.
So, yeah, thanks for being up and watching. And Rika says the cock assholes. Cock assholes. Whichever way you want to go.
Alrighty.
So there we go. Let's go back to Jordan. Jordan had something to say.
Oh, I was just gonna say, those beers like this Kentucky brunch bullshit. Didn't he beside like a what was I gonna say? That Odin's tipple stuff like that. It's just as
It's nice.
I don't think it's nice.
Is that apple? Is that
Yeah,
apple?
it's apple Arita, yeah.
I need one of those. I need one of those bad.
Okay.
No, you know what?
Wait.
Jordan, there are a lot of beers that are probably close to, if not better than, without the hype. I don't know though. At the same time, because I haven't had them, but I'm going to assume that like a lot of the beers on this list, I don't care about chasing because I can find amazing beers without chasing things.
A lot of these beers, none of us are getting those unless someone's really generous, or you save up for years. Because when you're talking 300-400 bottles of a beer that's super hyped, you're not seeing them.
All right, Chad. I have 2 left, so I'll review this one. I'll keep that one for you. I'll send you that one.
You are my hero. I will get some apple Arita.
What the fuck?
I can grab a beer out of my fridge right now that nobody can get. That's scored outstanding by the bros and the members on Beer Advocate. But so what? I mean,
but now you got to show us.
Well, do you mean Illuminati?
Number 2 on the list, okay, guys, was side project Fuzzy. So beer fans go nuts for sour ales. St. Louis's side project is currently making some of the most adventurous in the business. Their award-winning Fuzzy is aged in Chardonnay barrels with Missouri-grown white peaches added. More importantly, it was only made once and sold in 375 milliliter bottles. Obviously, not everybody drank the one bottle they were allowed because it currently sells well on the secondary market. Hill Farmstead's Anne is number 3. I'm actually kind of saddened because the other husband and the pants went on a motorcycle trip together, and they actually were in Vermont, and they didn't stop at Hill's Farmstead. I didn't even want anything. I'm just sad for them because she loves beer so much that I'm amazed they didn't do a side trip to Hill.
Well, it's a small state, and it's just like right there at every, it's right at the. It's a chore to get there. Bottom line, regardless of where you are.
You get where?
To get to Hill Farmstead.
Number 4 is a Cantaloon Blabber Lambic.
It's pronounced dick and mouth. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Cantillon?
Yeah.
Oh, I drink that one all the time.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Only
first of all,
bottles
it's blueberries is shitty. So blueberry beer is generally shitty.
I'm confused.
3 Floyd's Bourbon Vanilla Dark Lord is number 5.
Where is Beer Snobs United? Where is he?
If Stone came out with a blueberry beer, I don't know what you were to do.
Number 6, Santa Adarias West Abbey. So a California brewery.
No, it's St. Adarius West Ashley. Yeah, it's an apricot sour.
Sorry, Ashley. Yeah, I'm blind. That looked like 2.
I know.
It's supposed to be good as fufu, blah, blah, blah.
And fufu is not that good.
Pinot Noir Apricot Sour Saison.
Oh, Pinot Noir.
Ooh. That
this
could be
one,
really good or really bad.
You actually had not this exact mark of it, but you had one of these, didn't you? A 50-50 Imperial Eclipse Stout.
Yeah, that's like that's the Pappy Van.
Yeah, this is the Pappy one.
Which I'm sure everybody could definitely tell the difference when you're drinking a barrel-aged beer, Pappy, versus anything else that's really good.
That's rare, man. It's just rare.
I'm sure Jameson could tell the difference.
Express Blanc.
Wow.
Next is Taps Remy's Pappy.
Jay, that's August Shell. Very nice, sir.
Cypress Blanc. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Where were you at, Chad? Sorry to.
Sorry, we were at Remy's Pappy.
Oh, that is.
Everything's Pappy. Everything's Pappy.
It's another Pappy Van Winkle barrel aged beer.
Everything's turning up happy.
Yeah. Which is like.
I'm gonna make a beer. If I'm making a beer, I would say everything's turning up Pappy and not made with Pappy barrels at all.
Brewdog's The End of History is number 9, and I would love a bottle of that. That's the bottles that are inside the animals, the chipmunks and everything, and the animals are all in tuxedos and stuff.
You just want the bottle then.
Yeah, I really just want the bottle. But for $750, I don't want the bottle all that much.
Brewdogs, they're not going to sell Lagunitas. Not going to do it.
When I was at the Brewdog pub in Glasgow, they didn't even have that shit available to try. Like, if they would have had like a pour of it, they didn't even have it.
What is a fucking pour? Like $80? Like, I don't understand.
Didn't matter. I didn't have the choice to do it. Even if it'd be nice to at least have the choice to say, "Oh, fuck that."
If they gave you a 1 ounce pour and it was like $75, would have you done it?
What kind of beer is it?
I don't know. It's $750 a bottle, so I'm assuming if it's a 12-ounce bottle, it's probably they're going to charge up for a pour, so probably $60 to $80 to pour an ounce.
Depending on how many beers I had before that. I said, make sure I get a good picture of myself with that bottle. Maybe, yeah.
You don't even get the bottle. You just get a pour of it. And
yeah, but I can take my picture of it like, especially if send it to my vegan sister-in-law. She would have fucking killed me. But
Someone reviewed it on Untapped as recently as last week.
They only made End of History once, didn't they?
So, by elite orders, we got
just once, and what is it? They only made 11 bottles. Wow. The very last one on this list is the brewery's barrel-aged Partridge in a Pear Tree.
I haven't even heard of that. I mean, it must be a Partridge in a Pear Tree. Oh yeah, that's their first year. Oh wow, yeah, that's old. Shit.
It's one of those things where it's just like make a limited amount of bottles, and if you have a name out there, automatically super whales that everyone needs to have, and it's just like fucking done with it. Personally, I'm just done with it. I hate it. I fucking hate it at this point.
Oh yeah, and I mean, it's said over and over and over again, and nobody seems to get it, that just because it's rare does not mean it's good.
No, but it sucks because with all these rating sites and YouTube and just everyone who is a lemming, if it's rare, hard to get, and you have to put an effort to get it, automatically it starts at the top. It has to be something really bad for people to say, hey, it's not that good. Most people don't. If you're fucking investing a lot of time and money into getting a beer, whether it's trading, X amount of bottles or super hard to get things yourself or going on a trip to get it or whatever, no one's going to fucking drink that beer. Well, I should say no one. The most part, no one's going to drink that beer and say, it's all right. They're just not going to.
No, because they don't want to admit to that. They don't want to admit they put all that time and money into something that wasn't good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I always wonder how good all these beers really are. I'm sure there's quite a few that live up to the hype, but I'm sure there's quite a few that are just like, they're good, but are they fucking, I gotta kill someone to get one? Or I gotta fucking spend 3 days in line? Or I gotta spend $1,000 to trip good? Probably not.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal opinion, obviously.
I think a lot for like the sour beers, because a lot of those fall into that category, especially when it comes to what people are after and what people hype, is the effort and the expertise that goes into making one. Even if it's a above average, not amazing sour, if it's above average, people are going to go crazy for it because it isn't easy to do them. People have tried, and a lot of people miserably failed at doing it, and people are they're going after these things like crazy. This is like, that's the hot thing, right? So you have a brewery, like say even Funk Factory out of Wisconsin, or like for example the West Ashley, right? Santa Darius does good beer, and they put a very good or above average sour that takes a Fufun, and I've had Fufun, and it's very good. Is it something to go bananas over? Absolutely not. But there's so few and far between. Where else are you going to get it?
You were Crooked State. Crooked State.
Fuck Crooked State.
Well, I mean,
but you say that, and people
another thing with sour beers is I find it a lot more spectacular and a lot more impressive when it's actually a natural sour beer instead of just kettle soured. Now, I'm not saying that if it's kettle soured and it's good, I'm not going to like it. I'm still going to like it. I just don't find it as impressive.
Yeah, well, Cantillon is all naturally. Well, I mean, and nothing's really truly like 100% natural, right? They do leave things when you have your cool ships that do take in that stuff. Where Cantillon's known for that. Allagash does some of that as well.
Yeah.
But like the Russian River stuff we had that one time, River Consecration, that was phenomenal.
That was all right.
It was.
But
That
I
was
don't
really
think-
good.
I don't know if that was a cool shipped Wild Ale or not.
You know, it's never a BDU without Ewart mentioning Cantillon at least once.
Oh yeah, all the time. I look at like what you're saying, Chad, about the kettle soured as opposed to actually using wild yeast and barrel aging. It's kind of like doing a say barrel aged imperial stout. I find the ones they actually put in barrel and for substantial amount of time and maybe blend and test a lot, obviously are going to be a lot better than say oak staves, or using oak chips or something like that. You know, it's time, investing time, money, and knowing what you're doing goes a long way. And it's just the same thing as making an IPA. Some fucking brewers know how to make an IPA with, say, well, we'll say mosaic hops, just because Nick is drinking single hop mosaic. But that doesn't mean every single brewery that uses mosaic hops is going to make a good fucking IPA or palate. It's all different, and I don't know. I just hate hype nowadays. It's just it's way past anything I ever thought it'd be, and it's going to even get worse. Is the crazy thing about it. I guess the way you can go about it is just not care about it. It's kind of what I'm trying to do. It's just like something new comes out or something hard to get. Hey, there's like you were saying with Stone. There's fucking thousands of other beers I can go try that maybe it's not going to be as hyped or everyone's drinking that one. Whatever. I'm going to go drink a good beer, and it doesn't have to be something super special.
It's hard to relate to the systems that are, whether you look at social media or whatever, or how things work. They're designed, they work a certain way, and if you follow that criteria, you sell out or whatever, then you probably be real successful. And it's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Like that with everything. There's always a fucking system.
Yeah, well, that's true. There is a formula for a lot of things, and that is a formula for selling out your beer or having a successful brewery. A lot of these guys, I mean, that social media thing is very, well-crafted packaging and social media presence that does well for them. And, hey, kudos to them that they've mastered that. There's some guys who do awesome shit that you never hear about. Or you hear about so later, and then you have the guys that, oh yeah, I've been drinking their stuff for years, and I love those guys too. So, but I don't know. It just I think the biggest thing, you can take an average, or like say above average beer off the shelf. I think it's about the time and the place that you consume it that lends itself a lot to enjoying a beer. Or you can have a crazy hyped beer, but if you're having a crowded setting, guess what? I'm gonna fucking probably hate on it for one reason or another because I'm just pissed off because I'm dealing with a crowd at Swansea Day versus
fucking second Cantillon dropping names.
See, that's why I don't go do that, because I'm not a crowd guy. I like my bar to be relatively quiet and I can just enjoy it quietly and just whatever that those are far more enjoyable, and I would probably rate a beer higher. And I know there's a lot of my case on Untappd where like I give a beer that low of a rating, I must have been in a shitty mood or just not been enjoying my environment versus other ones.
I think you hit the nail on the head when it comes to just like reviews and what you think about beer. Mood plays a huge part. If you're having a shitty day, you might rate a beer lower or not like it as much. If you're having a good day, everything's a fucking great time, and you might give beer like a little bit better rating or like it more, or remember it more fondly. It plays a huge part.
Yeah, exactly. And there's times Joe and I know Aaron have called me out on like, you give that beer a what? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know, man. I'm like, I did? I thought I liked that beer. I gave it a 3. I'm like, oh, I thought I liked it, but maybe I don't know. And it's just that time and day and place, and so.
Cantillon, you were talking about Cantillon. I've never tried any of their beers. They're famous for sour beers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Lambics.
They're really well regarded, correct?
That's true.
Yes, they're very good. I've had a few.
State of mind.
When it comes to sours or lambics or wild ales or anything of that, they are, everybody else is measured up to them.
Okay, so they're like the best.
Yeah, they're the benchmark.
General consensus is they are the best. Like they are the upper echelon.
I'd say Dreifonteinen and all those boozeries up there are pretty much equal. These guys are just more experimental.
Well, and experience too. And these guys are, I mean, Drie they're strictly blenders. They're not actual brewers, right?
I've had their unblended stuff, paid an arm and a leg for it, but it was quite nice.
That's another thing, Jay. Like the prices on these Cantillon. If you were to happen upon them any part of Louisiana or where your travels, you would probably be like, nope, on to the next one, because they are expensive.
They cost.
It all depends, because places set the market, like individual stores, but you're talking 375s, 375 mils, anywhere from like 15, and this is lower. This is like you just found some place that no one knows about. 15 would be absolute the lowest, but that'd be a lucky find. I'd say average 25. For 375, 25 to 30. For 750, 45 to 50.
It seems like a lot of money.
Canada.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, I could buy.
I know where I can get some, but come on.
I'd say try it out. See what you think of it. They are very nice beers. They're super funky.
Here's the thing with price as well that we've talked about in the past. The thing with price is, like you're talking about, 15 to 25 for a 375. For that 15 to 25, I can buy a really good sour, or 5 or 6 really good sours, or like the fucking Rodenbach Classic was awesome for just what it was. You can get Duchess de Bourgogne, which is a really good beer for really cheap.
You are very nice.
I mean, I give you the best sour I've ever had was Rodenbach's Caricature Roche, which was just a sour with like 3 different fruits: cranberries, cherries, and something else. Best sour I've ever had, hands down. Beat the shit out of Cantillon, everything I've ever had, and I can get it whenever I want. It's fucking $34 and $7.50, and I'm just like, I just can't do it, and I'm just not gonna do it. I don't care how good it is.
Right.
Just like Rodenbach Grand Cru, that one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Awesome.
Which is why I think the Cantillons and things of that nature go to the people who do have the money to get them, and the ones that are able to hype them up a lot too. So,
Maine.
Maine.
Yeah, you see, there's a beer outlet about 30 miles east of me, and it's in a pretty wealthy neighborhood, so they can sell extremely expensive beers, and they sell them. You know what I mean? They don't sit on the shelf, and that beer store is probably one of the highest rated on the planet. It's just so expensive, you know.
And that's the thing nowadays. There's so many people that are into craft beer that a lot of this stuff doesn't sit because someone will pay it. Some of us won't. Some of us will, and they know what they have, and they price it accordingly. A $50 bottle of Cantillon, $7.50. For the vast majority of us here, we would say no and never. And then there was people that'll be like, "How many can I get? Can I buy a case?" Like that's how it works.
That's Love Alberta.
I'd still really love to try a Cantillon at some point. I've been looking for a bottle like Cantillon 1900 to try.
I think everybody should at least once try. I mean, it's just like anything else. Everyone love to try, the higher hyped and more highly thought of breweries. I think I'd like to try any brew I've never had before at least once. I think you almost owe it to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I love Alberta, because over here we're just getting into craft beer, just like really getting into it. So I can
have no restrictions out there either. They can bring in whatever they want.
Yeah, but they can also charge whatever they want. That's
it's
double-edged sword.
Here, I can find bottles of 2007 Panapot and 2007 Cantillon, and pay fairly cheap for it.
Well, yeah, because you don't have the hype yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome.
When I was in Canmore earlier this summer, I remember I was telling the complete story. I went into a shop, and the year before they had a Cantillon Vigorone, which is their sort of the white grape lambic. And they had that the year before, and I came back and said, "Oh, you guys had any more Cantillon?" "Oh, no, we had some stuff, and it didn't move." And I said, oh, that's too bad. I said, oh, we still have some in the back, but we can't sell it to you because beyond its best buy date. I'm like, best buy date? This shit will age for decades if you want it to. So I had to talk them into selling me the last 2 out of the back. And I'm like, oh, man, these guys, it's just like, it's true. They have no idea. Some place they have no idea what they're sitting on. And then, my sister lives in Edmonton. There's a place where she was at, and I remember she brought a whole bunch down to me, like, they were just sitting on shelves. I'm like, holy crap.
I'm 5 years old? You fucking kidding me? Sell it to me.
I know. Well, this one wasn't decades old, but it could sit for decades. That's what I was telling the guy.
I get what you mean, but it's like it's past the best before date.
Yeah, he said that's what their distributor told them. So.
I think I mentioned this before, but Brad told a quick story about a guy driving all the way from Texas up to Alberta and buying like $1,200 worth of Cantillon and driving back.
Yep.
Because he knew it was there. And he's like, what? It's like $20 a bottle or like 25 Canadian? Like, what the fuck? I'm up there. And I'm like, oh, jeez.
That's king.
There's a guy I know in Montana that does that too. He'll drive across for when shipments come in and he just buys up everything.
Well, that's impressive, but driving from Texas, that's dedicated.
Yeah. The guy just wanted to have enough room to haul that all back. He's like, yeah, I'm bringing it all back.
Mm-hmm.
And he did, I guess. Kudos to him, I guess.
That was a big story, I think.
Was it? I
Well,
just remember
maybe,
Brad
there's
mentioning it.
maybe a few guys that did that.
Before I get off of this, I wanted to ask Guy something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he left. He left for a second.
He's getting prepped. He's getting all greased up for Jay's question.
He was drinking the Old English, but I was curious. I know there's a different recipe in Canada. I guess it was 8%.
Mm-hmm.
A?
Yes, ours is 8%.
We do get an 8% in the United States, but it's a different label. It's called. I bought this in Beaumont, Texas. We can't get it in Louisiana. It's called Old English 800 High Gravity.
Yeah, his is Old English 800. They just don't put high gravity on it.
Yeah, this
Because fucking Canada. That's
because
great.
the Old English we get around here in Louisiana is 6%. You see.
Back in the day, I don't know, people used to say to me all the time, well, you guys got such strong beer up there, but they must have been talking about macro. Maybe we just had like an extra % on most of our shit. Is that true?
Yeah, because like I've seen some of y'all drinking like Old Milwaukee, but up there in your country it's like 4.7%, but down here it's 4.3. It's like every beer that you get is like higher ABV relative to us. It's strange.
It feels cold up here.
Yeah.
Because it's
I was
cold.
just curious. You know, I never can get a handle on it.
Yeah, our Old English is just
I have
Old English
here.
800.
Huh?
Our Old English is just OE 800.
Yeah, well, that's what we get too. We get Old English 800, but it's 6% alcohol.
Singing again.
We got stronger beer.
We can handle it.
No, a lot of us can't.
But we get strong beer down here. We get beer that's 12%.
But you know, I always find it funny because we always talk about. You always hear people talking about the ABVs and everybody. You get Canadians. Oh, our beer is so much stronger. I'm like, no, really. In the long run, the U.S. probably has stronger beer because I've seen a lot of craft brews that are anywhere from 10 to 20%. You don't get that up here.
You guys can have your stronger beer. We'll just have better beer. How about that? Boom!
That one I will say is debatable.
I don't. If you go no, there's just too much.
Now you just have vast majority you would have more better beer to worse beer in a ratio, but I would say you guys have the stronger. If we're looking at craft beer, you guys have the stronger craft beer, as long as you're not looking at like say Ohio or something.
They even have up to 12. I like they can't have over 12%. It's like 12% is pretty fucking high. I mean, I understand you're limiting, but still, it's not like you're limited to like 8% or something. You know? Like,
isn't there a few states that have a really low ABV percentage?
There's
Oklahoma.
Yeah. Now, what's Oklahoma's, Jay? Isn't it like if they self-distribute, they have to like 3.5% or something like that? I don't know.
There's confusion. Okay, here's where people get confused. In Oklahoma, the alcohol level is 3.2%. But that's alcohol by weight. So I tried to tell these Okies that you don't even know your own. I said it's 4% alcohol by volume, and they were telling me no, it's 3.2. Our state is a 3.2 state. I said, but that's by weight. Look on your own state website. You know, the Department of Alcohol, whatever, in Oklahoma. But 3.2%.
We don't smoke marijuana in Muskogee.
Right. Now, oh, yes,
A place where even squares can have a ball.
and I've been to Oklahoma, but they 3.2% is their upper limit. Like he's saying in most of the distributors, although you can get higher alcohol and some other, I don't know, their setup is strange. But 3.2% ABW is 4% ABV. And
Now we're different. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say on to his is that I thought it was what you're saying is correct, obviously, but I just heard it. Stephen Bush is a beer reviewer. He's in Oklahoma, but I thought it was like 3.2% alcohol by weight, 4% alcohol by volume, through the distributors. But if you, I think, self-distribute, you can go up to whatever. Like you can actually have normal beer. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
There is
Nick, what was that beer from Oklahoma that I sent you?
Prairie.
Prairie Bira. I think was it St. Paul or something.
How was it?
I haven't had it yet, but I've got it earmarked to drink this weekend.
Interesting that you bring up Stephen Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Sent that to someone else too. I forget though.
I just know Stephen Bush through Paul and Ethan. That's all. I don't.
Yeah, he used to talk to me a lot.
Now, I mean, on the flip side of the coin, how you were saying that most of the beer up here that you see down there is stronger up here. Our Four Loko is 4% less than the Four Loko in the U.S. And, I mean, I'll drink the stuff up here, and I'll be like, this is actually pretty good. And I'll have some American viewers that are like, yeah, we had the 8% in Canada, and it was actually good, but just wait till you try the 12% down here. It's fucking disgusting.
Down here it's all 12%. Yep.
And then I've also had people, you're an idiot, it's 12%. I'm looking at the can, buddy.
Well, I've seen the highest I've seen around here is the Super Brew 15% from Romania.
Yeah, we're not allowed over 13% for beer.
I would avoid Super Brew 15 like the plague. That's from Bucharest.
Probably better than Camel, though, right?
I couldn't finish it.
Which one?
I thought I was going to throw up. I couldn't finish the camo, and I couldn't finish. You know, I did those videos where I did camo black ice, and I did camo 4X, and I did camo silver ice, and then I did the Super Brew 15. I couldn't finish any of them. I got so angry with the camo, I threw it against the fence. But I couldn't take it. I couldn't handle it.
It seems like Camel makes 3 beers too many.
If you had to choose one of those 2 beers to drink for the rest of your life, would it be the Camo or would it be the Super Brew?
Oh, no, I would give up beer. I would just drink water and ice. I would never drink it. If you had somebody that wanted to give up alcohol and they had a real bad drinking problem, I really do think you could give them Super Brew 15 and they would just become anti-alcohol overnight. They would just never drink again. It's that ghastly. It's beyond belief. It's incredibly bad. But I did say this on my videos. It's admirably bad. You know what I mean? It's like they decided we're going to make the worst beer on earth, and we're going to do it with
like Bud Light.
Huh?
Have you done Minhas, Jay?
They're pretty wretched beers. I'm looking at a Minhas. I'm looking at some Minhas beers right here, and I can. It's funny because I can look at these beers and I can remember instantly the way it tastes.
Have you tried Boxer?
See, those are the only Minhas beers we get here in Ontario. Is the Boxer Ice, and Boxer Watermelon.
This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare in a can. I could really make a 45-minute video about this beer. This beer is it's profoundly bad. It has, it's beyond belief. And this is another horror, an atrocity of humankind, an atrocity of mankind. This is Name Tag Lager.
Name tag.
That just sounds like it's going to be
I
shitty.
said they ought to call it Skin Tag.
That sounds white trash as it gets.
Name
Boxer,
tag, yeah.
Boxer Ice got me punched in the head during a review.
Boxer Ice?
Yep.
They make a Boxer Ice?
Yeah, you don't want it.
I always say
Okay.
Oh, guys, they make a Boxer gluten-free.
Oh my God! One of you two has to get that for me. I'm
I-
gonna go to the cartoon.
that's
Don't
a
even
waste of
bring up Jaguar malt liquor, 8%. It's beyond belief. It's incredible. Now, I have a friend. I'll tell you this before I get off, because I got to get off of this because I'm tired. But you know the whole story, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I have a friend. He is a beer drinker, but he's not a beer connoisseur, right? You know the type of people. Most people in the world are that way. They drink beer, but to sit up here on the internet and talk back and forth about obscure laws, they could care less. They think that's stupid. All right. But he'll try anything. He's like, oh, yes, and most everything's good, you know. And I went to Kentucky last year, and I saw this beer for $2.49 a six-pack. I said, I've got to buy it. And so it was at a place called Stadium Liquors in Covington, Kentucky. And I said, I bet you this is horrible. So I bought it. Milwaukee Special Reserve Ice.
That's not Old Milwaukee, is it?
Oh no, Old Milwaukee. If you drank this and then drank Old Milwaukee, I guarantee you would get on Beer Advocate and give Old Milwaukee 100 out of 100.
Was that worse or better than Big Flats?
Oh, much worse. And Big Flats is bad.
Yeah. Big Flats is like the cheapest beer I've ever heard of until that, apparently.
This stuff is.
Oh, there's one beer out here. It's specifically brewed for a couple stores. It's called Good Times Ice.
Oh, I need that too.
I fucking love these generic names. Like, let's think of the most generic name for our
the
beer.
worst beers people can find. That's what I need right now.
Okay, well this is called.
You know Canadian beer prices? $12 for a 15-pack.
Holy fuck! In Canada?
Wait a minute. Yeah. They sell this garbage down here for $10.99 a 30-pack. Now,
Jesus.
Yeah, but Jake,
which is about
$12 a 15-pack is like 50 cents a 6-pack in the U.S.
It's like they're paying you to drink it.
Yeah, it's
okay.
yeah, exactly.
Like Big Flats.
Well, this stuff here, no, believe me, Big Flats is a great.
Big Flats isn't horrible. It's not horrible at all.
Yeah.
Especially if it's-
I passed it.
So did I.
I didn't want to.
For $3 a 6-pack, there's nothing wrong with
It was,
it.
it was
I'd
really
drink
nice
that
corn.
shit.
It wasn't
Okay,
bad.
To be honest, Big Flats is simply Genesee lager in a different can. Check the specs on that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But
I don't hate Genesee Lager either, so it's okay.
And I like Jenny Cream too. So everything's great, Jack.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Okay,
Jenny.
continue what you're saying.
But this Milwaukee Special Reserve, I bought that. I said, I got to check this out. I know this is going to be something else. So it's a fresh, full-body brew. It's made by GJS Sales, Incorporated of La Crosse, Wisconsin. Well, when I saw La Crosse, I said, uh-oh, that's Melanie Brewing. But imagine this. These are the people that produce a lot of Samuel Adams beers and the Guinness, what's that word? Guinness Blonde Lager. So they can produce credible beers, but they specialize in
Shitty beers.
In
Yeah, I mean that. I'll say it for you, Jay, because I know you won't say it. But shitty beers. They
yeah, like
specialize in
Index
shitty beers.
Ice.
Yeah,
Like Index Ice. Well,
like
anyway,
beers no one really wants to drink.
apparently some people do. But
Yeah, some people.
I bought this beer, and then I brought it to my friend Lee, Elwin. Well, his name is Elwin, but everybody calls him Lee for some weird reason. But anyway, I said, Lee, you want to try this? Yeah, okay. So he brought it home. He had it in the fridge. He said he opened it up by the sink, and he just drinks out the can. You know, he's just like, so he drank it, took a sip. He said, oh, no way. He just dumped the whole can down the drain, and that was it. One sip, he was finished. He said, it's beyond belief. It was so bad. I said, wow. You know, and then this other guy, Jordan, comes in 2 days later, and he tells me, "Oh man, I tried all those beers you let me have." I said, "Oh yeah, well what'd you think?" "Well, I thought that Milwaukee Special Reserve Ice was pretty good." I said, "Oh my goodness." I said, "You're probably the only person on earth that ever said that." So it goes to show you that there are people out there that either have terrible taste or that somehow this can appeal to them.
My friend, he loves budget beer, and he drinks them for the sake of getting wasted, stuff like that. And he says Good Times Ice is probably the worst thing out there. That sounds very similar to that.
Right, but that's like dedicated alcoholism. These guys were like trying it for the flavor. You see what I'm saying? And he said, "Oh, that was pretty good." I said, "Jordan."
So
Hey, to each their own. To each if he can get it, he can get it cheaply, and he can have all of it.
I drank the other 4 cans. It was very unpleasant, but I drank.
It sounds like someone's taken their tongues and just stuck hot lighters on it all their life.
But like Chad Albino Rhino saying, you really do have to try these things. If you haven't been there, you just don't know. I'm looking at that Beer 30 Ice. I swear to you, that beer tastes like grape drink and roof and tar.
Drink.
That's a pretty unique combo.
How many beers have you ever drank that tasted and smelled like roof and tar? I don't think too many.
Off the top of my head,
I've had one that tasted like cigarette butts. Like I actually was talking about it in a review I just did, and I'm like, okay, I know how this is going to get taken, but if any of you did horrible shots in a bar before, you would know what a dirty Mexican asshole is, which is they took an ashtray when you could smoke in the bar, and they'd take the cigarette butts out of the ashtray, and they'd dump a shot of tequila in. The ashes would still be there, and you'd take the shot. And I've had a beer that actually tasted like doing that shot, and that was fucking disgusting.
Sounds like every ESB I ever drank.
Watch that review.
Now, one beer that I did drink, and I promise I'm getting off after this. One beer I drank, I bought it in Trevose, Pennsylvania, on U.S. Highway 1, literally feet north of the Philadelphia city limits. Not a mile, like feet. I saw it, and I thought to myself, this is a bad decision. Don't do it. Well, of course, then you're going to do it. It's called 40 Street Legal. Look it up on the internet. You'll see photos. It's like a wall with graffiti on it, a brick wall. 40 Street Legal. The label looks dirty and cheap, and when you pour this beer in a mug, it looks dirty and cheap. I've never seen a malt liquor look like this. It looks like sort of like sewage. I don't know. It's really incredible.
Sort of like sewage.
But the flavor is just. I remember I was drinking it. I said, "Oh, how could this be on the market?" And I said, I'm going to drink this entire 40-ounce bottle. And I did it in about 3-4 hours. But I literally felt sick for 3 days.
Hecky.
For 3
He
days.
is drunk.
He is buzzed.
But I'll tell you what, 40 Street Legal, for 3 days, my body hurt.
See, and that's just not something you want to have.
And it was in a store, and people were buying it. Anyway, that's the end of that. Good night, and I will see you.
Alrighty, Jay, you have a wonderful night, and say hello to your daughter for me.
Yes, it's getting better. And I'll say this, I don't always participate because of being tired, but I do, as you probably are aware, I do watch these videos.
Cool.
Good night, folks.
Good night, good sir.
Have a good one, buddy.
Thank you, y'all too. Take care.
You too.
We do have a couple comments since Lee just was
Yeah,
like, I gotta go film my podcast, guys. I'll be back in an hour if you're still here. So I guess
he didn't even say bye to me. He's an asshole. He's an asshole.
I only see 2 comments, so I'll read them real quick if you want me to.
Yes, please.
Okay, Winter is actually 3 now. Winter is coming says, kind of disturbed that I just found chunks in the Winter Jack that I'm currently drinking.
Well, that's...
Is it good?
Well, you don't want to find chunks in anything that you jack.
Oh,
well, Winter Jack is a barrel-aged beer, so it could be yeast particles sitting there. It's also older. It wasn't made this year, so it could be protein globules breaking down, you're fine.
Does it taste good is what all that matters, really. And if so, then it's all that matters. Rikus says, haha, name tag and secret time, laughing at the names of the beers. And then AVSK says, hi, fellas.
Good day, Sage. What's going on?
Yay, Sage.
Oh, that's Sage, huh?
Chad, I got more Costco beers. Have you had the Shark Top Raspberry White and the Crisp Apple yet?
White?
I've not had the crisp apple, but I've had the raspberry wheat, yes.
Alright, so I'll keep an apple for you then.
Awesome. I'm really getting worried. I'm getting worried about the things you're finding for me.
No, with my dad at Costco, they had a special. You had to pick 2 cases for $30. So we got the Apple Rita apple shit and the mix pack. So I'll also be sending you 2 apple beers apparently.
Just send him a fucking beer mail of shit. That'd be absolutely fantastic to have like 8 beers of just grossness everywhere.
You are wearing the green shirt, so shush.
Yes, what? I don't know what that
So,
means.
Ontario's first craft beer boutique opened up this week. Also, the industry groups were muzzled on talking about the reforms coming to the beer because it was going to be announced today at a press conference. But anyway, the beer boutique had lineups out the door. This was in Toronto. There was a growler sales. It was all craft beer, mostly Ontario craft beer. There's going to be 24 other locations opening up. Apparently, most of them, like 20 of them, are going to be in the Toronto area. So the rest of Ontario is kind of SOL. That's just one of the things there. I'm just touching on that quick because I don't really care since I'll never see one because I try not to go to Toronto. I hate Toronto. Also, there was a Watch Mojo video up earlier the last week when we were doing this. It came up, and Nick brought it up to us, and I watched it, and, it was a top 5 beer facts, and 4 of them were beer facts everybody would know, but the 5th one was really, really interesting, and the 5th one was that the Netherlands get alcoholics to clean their streets and pay them in money and beer.
Sounds like what kind of beer?
Just beer. They get a beer. They get a beer before they start. They get a beer at lunch, and they get a beer when they're done. Plus, they get.
My guess the beer will be Amstel.
Yeah.
I heard it was going to be big flats.
Probably.
It's just one of those things where it was kind of cool, and I'm reading comments that they're making and stuff, and I was watching the video, and they had them on TV talking about it too, and they're like, well, these are people that don't want to get better, so instead of just having them live on the system, we give them something to do, and we give them their beer, and they can survive this way instead of just sleeping on the street.
That sounds awesome.
It's a good idea, really.
And
It's
I mean,
better than-
it's one of those things where they're saying, you know what, they don't want to get better anyway, so what can we do to help them? Give them something to do.
It'd be cheaper than paying them welfare.
How clean are the streets?
Apparently immaculate.
Because that would be the key deciding factor, right? If they're awesome,
does it work?
Well, yeah, if you don't clean the streets, you don't get your beer, so they're cleaning the fucking streets,
Interesting.
I thought it was extremely intriguing. Now, today was a press conference. Press conference from Kathleen Wynne here in Ontario. And she had talked about the new beer reforms. Now, back in April, she had announced that beer would be sold in 450 grocery stores across Ontario. Well, today they came out and brought up a lot of the plan more in depth. Of course, before the press conference, it was leaked to the Star last night. They were given the paper so they could put it in the paper today as the press conference went on. Here are some excerpts from the report. I do have the link of the report on the Facebook site, but just some excerpts from it. Under the new accord, 9,000 bars and restaurants which serve beer fewer than 250 cases a year, which isn't much beer, will no longer be forced to buy from the beer store at a premium of $8 more per 2-4 that ordinary consumers pay, which is basically saying they're taking the licensing fee off for these 9,000 that only sell 250 cases. Here's the thing. Every single licensee should not have to pay the $8 more of 2-4 that is being price fixed by Anheuser-Busch, Molson Coors, and Sapporo. This is not the craft breweries doing this. This is just, they have to buy their beer from the beer store. That's the law. They have to buy their beer from the beer store, and the beer store is owned by the big guys, and the big guys have arbitrarily put a higher price on their beers for licensees. So these 9,000 licensees won't have to pay it, but the other 20,000 will. Well, this is the reason this whole thing started, was stuff like this price fixing. It should be abolished for everybody, not just the ones that buy just a little bit of beer. Thoughts on that? Anything?
I still wish they'd get rid of Ontario.
Yeah, why?
Get rid of all of them and just implement this they have in the States that work well for the 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't tell people what to charge for their shit, man. Like, that's like if you went to go mow a lawn and then someone comes in and tells you what to fucking charge and then fucks with your shit. Get what you can get, you know what I mean? Makes it easy.
Well, people always complain about the price of beer at restaurants, and I don't think they realize that a 2-4 of beer, like they're like, oh, well, I bought a 2-4 of Blue for $29. Well, that's great. You bought a 2-4 of Blue for $29. The bar bought that 2-4 of beer for $40. Then they had to put taxes on top of it. They had to put another licensing fee on top of it, and they have to pay their overhead on top of it. So yeah, you could buy your 2-4 for $29, but because they're a licensee, they're going to pay $10 more per case right off the bat for licensing fees and taxes that go right to the government. But then they also have that $11 price fixing that is being put on it from the big guys.
That's like wine. Like, I'll look at a wine list at a restaurant, and they'll say, this glass of wine is $9.25. It's like, fuck, I could buy the whole bottle for $11.
Yep.
You know? And they're not doing that to be greedy. They're doing that because, obviously, they want to sell wine. If they could mark it down, they would.
Now, the next point I had for this article is continuing on that under the new accord with 9,000 restaurants not paying the licensing fee. This should level the playing field with larger bars and restaurants, which often receive better deals from the beer store thanks to free glassware, patio umbrellas, and other promotional material. Here's the tidbit from that. Basically, they're saying it's okay for these larger breweries to take what we already say is illegal. That is illegal according to the AGCO. It doesn't matter if you're a craft brewery, a large brewery, whatever. Giving free merchandise to a bar or restaurant to sell your product is illegal according to the AGCO standards. So this is saying that the government knows it happens and just doesn't care. They're like, well, just to shut them up, we're going to let them not have to pay the licensing fee if they sell a little enough beer. And now here is the next part of it, okay? So as first disclosed by the Star last week, the 450 eligible grocery stores will be limited to selling an equivalent of 46 million six-packs a year. That is 279 six-packs a day. But will be allowed to exceed the quota if they pay a penalty worth 1% of the cost of the beer. That fine will go to the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, which is the distributor. The LCBO will then pay that surcharge to the breweries to compensate them for lost revenue from cannibalized beer store sales. Sources say the government is happy with this soft cap because they want supermarkets to sell more beer despite the quota, which was a concession to the beer store's owners. Now, here's the thing about this. I actually asked for clarification from this, and Steve Abrams, the owner and chairman of Mill Street, came up and gave me clarification on it because he was at the press conference. He was actually the craft beer representative for the press conference. The press conference was actually held at his beer hall. So that 1% penalty that it says will be paid to the brewers is actually being paid to the beer store. So the grocery stores are selling more craft beer than the beer store. So if they go over that 279 six-packs, they are most likely selling craft beer that is not in the beer store anyway. So you are paying for that beer. They are paying that 1% tax on that beer. And then that 1% tax is going to the beer store who wouldn't have been carrying that product anyway.
Seems legit.
Like everything else with the Ontario laws, it's all bullshit to get more money in the government's pockets and the people who are paying the government off.
Well, that has nothing to do with government pockets. That money's going to the beer store, not the government.
I don't think the government is making a lot of money off the beer store. I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of kickbacks going into Wynn's pocket and all that stuff.
She actually...
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask a question. Who came up with 279 six-packs a day? What kind of arbitrary number is that? Why is it 279?
Well, yeah, and like somebody was saying, like I was saying, like, so if I buy 2 6-packs and I'm number 279 and 280, and I buy a Mill Street and a Cameron's, who gets that money? Because that's the way it's worded. And he's like, well, actually, it goes to the beer store, not either of us. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Ontario is such a fucking joke.
And why is there a cap at all anyway? Because truthfully, like you're saying, if they want more money, there should be no cap. As much fucking beer as you want to buy, as much beer as you want to buy. Also, it says, in return, recycling of wine, booze, beer bottles, and cans will continue to be handled by the beer store no matter where they are purchased. That's a great thing because they already have the facilities and everything else to do it. I never wanted them to fully close because of that. I just wanted the monopoly gone, which is not gone. But at the same time, grocers will be limited to selling beer at 450 stores for the duration of the 10-year agreement. But the beer store does not have the same curve on new outlets. So basically, the beer store can open up as many outlets as it wants in that 10-year place. So again, this is bullshit for the Ontario consumer. So you're putting it only in grocery stores. You're saying, you know what? We know that a private business owns all these. We're not going to let a private citizen or a group of craft breweries open up their own stores. We're going to let grocery stores have it and nothing else. They can only have the 450 stores. But you know what? This private corporation can continue to open as many stores as they want while nobody else can.
Something so seemingly simple turns into something so unnecessarily complicated.
Welcome to Ontario, motherfucker.
Now,
I don't understand.
I know.
Why.
Here is the one you're really going to like, and I think is great too. So the last point I took out of this article. The cost of beer will continue to be set by the breweries. Now remember, the cost of beer will be continued to be set by the breweries with a government-regulated minimum price. Okay, I'm okay with that. And supermarkets will only be able to put brands on sale when they're also reduced at the beer store. What the fuck? Okay, first off, most of the brands that are going to be at the grocery stores will not be sold at the beer store. The 20% shelf space that's guaranteed for craft brewers is going to be shelf space that isn't stuff that's sold at the beer store. And if a brewer can set its own price to sell to that supermarket at, and the government has a lowest minimum price, the fucking supermarket should be allowed to sell at any price they want above that minimum price. If they want to sell you a 2-4 of Cameron's RPA for $29.95, which is the lowest price in Ontario, they should be allowed to do that. They shouldn't be forced to not do it because the beer store doesn't have it on sale. What the fuck is it? And this again is the beer store trying to control this, not lose any of their monopoly, have as much favor as they want. Why go to a grocery store? You can come to us. You've always been coming to us. This stuff is fucking bullshit, and the Ontario consumers just seem to be glossed over by it. Now, Jordan St. John talks about how, you know, in the short term this is horrible, in the long term it's great. Well, that's good and dandy, Jordan, and I understand exactly where you're coming from, but this fight has been going on now for almost 100 years in Ontario. The long term is now. Fucking shut this shit down and get on it. Like, fight the fucking government about shit like this, only because this is still keeping a fucking monopoly. They still are price setting. They still are keeping the competition from being able to make sales or anything else so that you won't go to the competition.
I've never understood why they can't just do it like the States does. Let the breweries completely set their own prices. If they want to sell beer at $1 or $2 they can do so, and whatever they charge, the government gets a 13% tax on it, just like anything else.
I don't. Nope.
You know exactly what we're talking about. You just don't want to say it because it's so mind-boggling. It's just
it's like living in the 1920s.
It's like living in communist Russia.
Are women going to start getting arrested for showing their ankles now?
Yeah. It's just sad.
Well, they should, because ankles are gross. So are feet.
Oh, I disagree. I like the feet.
You words, come on.
You'd be surprised when getting with feet.
There's a difference.
I seriously want to take a hammer to all feet I see. I just want to smash them.
So you didn't like when I put my Frodo feet beside your head?
No, I don't like
Big
any
fan
feet.
of the cankles. No,
You must love the Chinese.
Feet are purely for function, and that's it.
For butt fucking?
St.
You
Ambrose
know what?
Arabia.
I'm glad you actually have me, because you've been running through my mind all day long. You and all, baby.
This whole thing is just insane to me. The fact is, that the monopoly is still there in the fact that you have a foreign-owned conglomerate that can own an off-site retail store while nobody else can. Why can a private citizen or a conglomerate of craft brewers not own their own off-site sales area? Sure, you're putting it in a grocery store. Well, the grocery stores already have wine racks and everything else. And the 450 licenses are probably going to go to 450 places that already have the wine racks in them. So it's not like it's anything new. All this is doing is adding convenience. Yes, it is a step forward, but it's a step that also makes me want to choke people out.
That's why you need a conservative government.
That's the wise. The unassuming citizen is it's convenient for them. Everything's great. The only people that are getting their panties in a bunch are people like you. And not saying that in terms of anything negative. I'm actually saying they know that it's only going to be a small part that are actually going to dive deep into all this shit. They know that.
Who wants a mustache?
The thing is, it doesn't even matter that it's beer. For anything, this would piss me off. Like, for anything where you're going to make a government control, but going to give it to a corporation, but nobody else. That pisses me off.
But they know there's only a small majority out there, or small minority that will care about it.
Exactly. Temperance. First of all, it's temperance, and second of all, I'm going to start a Kickstarter campaign so Chad can get a passport so he doesn't have to worry about this problem anymore and don't have to talk about it. Because, fuck them. Can't beat them.
Leave them. Fucking leave them.
Leave them. I ain't buying this shit. I'm done with this shit.
Who doesn't have a passport?
I need 2 passports. That's the problem. I need my wife to get one too.
Oh, Hopfro, that's a good deal.
Get an enhanced driver's. Oh shit, enhanced driver's. Sorry, driver's license.
Yeah, but then if you
I have an enhanced ID and it works for me. I'm sure it should be.
Mustache runner just.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Airbnb. We're gonna rent a castle in Ireland.
How about this, Chad? In my next beer review, I just send you like $90 and you get your passport so you can do some reviews.
No. See, this is the thing. I need my passport and the wife's passport. So that's like with the new passport prices. What is it? $160 now?
So okay, that's $60 American. Who's American here?
Ethan, I'm not. I'm half and half. So
yeah, he's right on the border. He's at North Tonawanda.
I'm at North Tonawanda. I mean, I buy Canadian.
Take all those fucking like shitty fucking beers you drink and take it, recycle them all for.
What he's drinking is an awesome beer, and I'll pick some of that up next month. That's an awesome beer.
Some of that Hopfro, baby, from
Fatheads. I don't know, fatheads. Everything's overrated except for hot ginger.
That shit is good. What kind of fruit?
Or just border jump.
But it's orange flavor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, I don't know.
You're talking about the U.S. border. I'll get shot. Okay, I'm not border jumping.
Hey, I border jumped today.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Chad, does your...
I know, they'll think you're like a rare lost manatee or something.
Chad, does your border lady still work at the border? What's her name?
Oh, yeah, Meredith is there.
She's still there?
Meredith is still there. Charging tariffs on every single person coming back to Ontario. She's still there. Oh, you have cheese? Please drive up over there. Oh, you bought a piece of clothing? Drive up over there. You have 1 beer? Drive up over there. Yeah, she's still there. Don't worry. She's not going anywhere.
Fuck.
It's still worth the effort.
I'd like coming back in America. We have this guy, Paul. He's a Sasquatch. His car's still in the fucking country. We're all together, but we don't know each other. There's like 80 beers in the back. What's up? Oh, we went to a beer fest? So did you. Okay, see you later. Yeah, we're allowed back into the country. That's how that goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck.
I get no hassle. I never get a hassle. Usually, oh, how many? Like, I got anything to declare? Yeah, I have 16 beers. 16? What? Okay, I don't get that math. What is that? What kind of case is that? Let's go. I don't want to understand.
No, viewers. See, this is the thing. Any single border guard I get other than her, as long as you're under 24, they don't care, because if it's a 2-4, there's a straight tax on a 2-4. But if you say you have 23, then they have to go through the 2-4. They have to check the ABVs on all of them, and so they don't want to do that. So if it's under a 2-4, it's just go. But her, no matter what you have, you're fucking paying duty on it.
That's fine. I would say fine. I'm going to go inside. I'll pay the measly duty, and I'll say, listen, I'm sorry to waste your time and mine. Here's my fucking duty. See you later. And they'll just roll their eyes like they do anything else. If I get
the greatest thing is we've driven up a couple times, and the one time it was me, Paul, James, and Boychuk in the car, and we pulled up, and she asked us. It was her, and we each had 15 beers. It was 60 beers for review. I paid for all of them, but we each bought 15, so that we had 4 different receipts with 15 beers each. So she sent us to pay duty. We all walk in. The guy's sitting there. He goes, "What do you have?" 15 beers. And he looks at the paper to see who gave it to him. And he went through them all 4 of us. And he goes, "You're all in the same car?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "What booth?" And we're like, "Over there." And he's like, "Fucking Meredith." And he stood up. He had all 4. He had all 4 of our yellow slips. He walks out the door. He glares right at her booth. He points at her, and then just rips the fucking slips up and throws them in the air and goes back in. He's like, "Go."
All I know is come back into the States. The one time the guy was like, "So where'd you go?" And I specifically mentioned LCBO, and he goes, "What the hell is that?" That's what he said to me. And I go, "Oh, sorry, the beer store." And he's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know the LCBO at all.
Lucky motherfucker.
Fucking ridiculous.
Nick is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, Nick knew what the LCBO was, and he was not ever here.
I was like, "You're a border guy. Like, you should have an idea of what the fuck they sell all the liquor there. That's where you go for liquor, like liquor, beer, wine, whatever. There you go." And he's like, "What is that?" And I said it again. I was like, "LCBO." He's like, "I don't know what that is." And I was like, "Oh, you computed in my mind." It was like after one of the reviews I did at your place, and I was like space for a second. I said, "Oh, the beer store." And he's like, "Oh, okay." I'm just like, "Oh my god."
Now, if you're traveling late at night, you get the really bored border guards. They'll just like talk to you about shit. Like I once had a guy who kind of who was just basically telling my fiance that you should really got to dump this Canadian guy, get yourself an American. We're much better over here. He went on this for like 5 minutes, and then he just lets through.
Well, that's fucking creepy and weird and not cool. Like that's not cool.
Well, it's a border guard at 2 in the morning. You had nothing fucking better to do.
Well, like like I said, the night we took Paul home when the ship broke down, we came across and we mentioned that we went to Chad's Fest, and the guy out of nowhere is like, "Really?" He's like, "Where was it?" And we're like, "Oh, it's wherever." And he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, and I went to Nevada and went to this beer fest, and I had this and that. I thought he's going on for like 5 minutes, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is gonna be fantastic." He's like, "Fuck it, go guys." I'm like, "All right." That was I don't know. The later the guards at night just seem to they don't care for the most part.
Working night shifts, you go fucking apeshit.
Yeah. They probably get bored.
Sometimes they're bored. They'll want to look through your trunk just because they can.
No, you'll go apeshit like after like at 2 p.m. That's when you go in fucking mash mode, like Al and Alda. I fucking tell you, man. Alda. Alda Reich.
What's up, Ethan?
Mash paddle?
What's that?
Mash
So
paddle?
what's up? Hi, hello.
Ezekiel mustache riding.
How much? What's up with you?
Mustache riding Ezekiel.
Mustache rider. Nobody likes the mustache rider. Hey, I'm keeping track of all the news articles that come up to see how long before Ethan brings them up.
Okay, wait. Is it Ethan that brought the Carlsberg Craig's full of cleaning fluid?
No, that was Stranopromin. Stranopromin kegs full of cleaning fluid.
I'm pretty sure it was Carlsberg's.
Well, Carlsberg owns Stranopromin.
The Rainbow Factory.
You're fucking drunk. Go drink your apple beer.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, we're gonna
No,
go on to
no.
comments.
I send you a copy. We both review at the same time.
Do overview. All right, comments.
It tastes like apple candy.
Yes. I actually I mixed the 4 other ones with Nebraska vodka.
That's the reason you're drunk. I get it.
No, not tonight. Beforehand, it's
Dude,
because
I
Pascal.
can't believe how many breweries are opening up in Ottawa. I just can't believe it. Like, you are going to go broke, sir.
No. Every time per year you come to Ottawa, then I'll be going broke.
That was a good day. As much as I just didn't care when we got to that last brewery because that guy just didn't sit well with me.
Well, that's Mark. He's my French buddy. Don't worry. It's okay.
He's the great cook of Ottawa.
Yes. He's all about the welding.
The whaling.
Welding.
Whaling.
Welding.
He's all
White
about
well?
Welland.
Well,
So
He
what
likes
comments
Welland?
do we have there, Joseph?
Sage said, good, thanks, because we asked him how he's doing. He said, good seeing y'all this evening. Sipping on white and McKay blended Scotch whiskey this evening. No beer for him tonight. LOL.
Who's that?
Sage.
Acoustic Values, the guy that does a lot of my intro songs.
Oh yes. It's nice.
So I guess
Sexy song.
Rykus says, haha, 8 beers of grossness. I think when we were talking about
Oh
the
yeah,
shitty
but
beers.
sending me the shitty beers.
Yeah, that's what. And then he said, if you can't beat him, buy your beer in the USA. He has the right concept. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
That's all.
See, and I'm not even against the prices. I don't care about the prices. I don't care about the taxes and all that. I'm pissed off with the way Anheuser-Busch, Molson Coors, and Sapporo own everything and are allowed to own everything even though it's against the law, and how they can go in and do a lot of illegal things even though it's against the law.
Here's the thing. You were spot on. You were spot on. So I mean, if you live in Southern Ontario, you should definitely work on getting a passport no matter who you are, because if you drink beer specifically or want to buy anything in the States that's cheaper, but there's nothing wrong with at the same time wanting the laws to change and wanting things to get better, because you shouldn't have to go to the States just to get more of a variety when you could already get more of a variety if the laws just weren't fucked up for no reason other than greed. That's the way I looked at it. But I mean, if I was in Southern Ontario or fucking any, regardless of where I am, I definitely, no matter, you gotta, passport's the key regardless of price. If you have to save up and not buy beer for a month or cut costs somewhere else of luxury, whatever, it's such an integral part for you specifically, Chad, but anyone else who likes beer, like coming to just Western New York and having multiple places that have hundreds, if not thousands, of beers, and then if you're in Windsor or anywhere that far to Western, I guess, Southern Ontario, you have fucking all of Michigan. Within 2-3 hours, you can go to fucking 50 breweries and tons of bottle shops. It's like you have options. So, in my opinion, if I lived in Southern Ontario, for the most part, I would just go to the fucking States and say, "Fuck you, Ontario, suck a dick." That's what I'd do, personally.
Yeah, Founders, 2.5 hours. Holy shit. I can't believe I don't go there more often, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're dumb. You're really stupid.
I am dumb.
No. But you have so many good places in Detroit and surrounding areas. Within an hour, we joke around. Koonin makes really good beers, and it's right over the border. It's like 15 minutes. I mean, there's other Jolly Pumpkin. You went there today. And I mean, there's places, and then there's bottle shops, and Hopcat has 100 fucking beers on tap. You can have a great time going over the border within a half an hour. And same thing if you come to Western New York. You've come here and went to Blue Monk. There's fucking, how many bottle shops right over the border. I mean, you're talking 15, 20 minutes, and you're at all these places. So I would say, show your support to fucking the U.S., because we really need it, guys. Like, we really fucking need it. A lot. Please come here. Spend all your money.
Trump was going to be president. You all be broke soon.
Oh, fuck. We're going to be a lot more than broke.
Get Obama.
build a fucking wall.
To keep out those lazy Canadians.
It would be hysterical if it was Obama versus Bernie Sanders.
I would fucking love Bernie Sanders.
How would it be Obama versus buddy?
Obama can't go against him.
Yeah, Obama's done. What are you talking about?
Obama's done. So it'll be
I
like
just hope
Sanders versus Trump.
it's gonna be more like probably Hillary Clinton against Trump, and I'm gonna kill myself. That's
No,
probably
it's
what's gonna end up happening.
No, it's
Who's
gonna
older?
the chick. It's gonna be what's her name?
Carly Fiore.
Yeah, the one that fucking shit all over Trump.
It's gonna be Carly Bernie. That's what it's gonna be.
Let's hope. Go Bernie.
I like both of them, honestly. I mean, Bernie, he's radical, and he's basically Canadian.
He is fucking like your drunk uncle. He's fucking fantastic. Sign me up.
Yes.
I've watched so many of his interviews just because he's hysterical. I've watched his live tweets whenever there's Republican debates. He's awesome to watch and listen to.
Trump, fuck.
And how old is he? How can he fucking tweet?
Bernie Sanders is awesome.
He's got his people.
He's blowing my mind right now.
Multi-billion-dollar penis technology.
Colbert trolling Trump on his show.
Oh yeah. Stephen Colbert is hilarious as well. Yeah. Have any of you guys watched the Late Show with Stephen Colbert?
I saw one episode. I didn't actually like.
Who?
Stephen Colbert.
I don't watch it again.
No.
I don't stay up that late.
No, me neither. Fuck TV.
Fuck TV. Only swear net.
Only swear not for D. That's it. Swear not.
That's where I get my news. I get my news from Pat.
Yes.
The weather.
Pat? Yeah. Fuck weather.
Exactly. Oh, I listened to their podcast. Holy crap, are they funny?
The best fucking part is that my white microphone stand I fucking sent them on the desk right in the middle of every fucking episode. Yes?
Yes? I didn't get
I want to say I understood that, but I said something about the microphone in the middle of the desk.
America. White microphone holder, middle of the table. Me, ye sent that.
Oh, you sent it. Okay.
What the fuck?
Hello, Brad.
Hey, Bradley. We're at the shit show portion of the night, so if viewers don't start giving me questions or comments, we're just going to go offline, and we'll continue being shit showed offline. So if you want to keep this drunken shit show going, you got to give us something to stay online for.
It's
Here's a viewer question. Here's a viewer question. How can Brad be so damn sexy, like lean on that bike with that avatar? Oh my god.
There was a lot of Alberta talk tonight, Brad.
We almost got dominated by him. If Brad would have been here, we would have been outmatched.
Did Honda pay you to take that picture? And then... No?
Maybe.
They hating on you because they ain't you, son. Yeah.
Lots of loon talk, and basically saying "fuck Alberta" for getting loons. That's all it was.
Well, no, we talked about the Village Brewing Company who had to recall their growlers the second time.
That's lame again.
Brad, they've decided they will not sell growlers anymore. There's no more growler sales.
About time.
It was a really good beer. I gave it like 3.75 out of 5. It took off a half point for cutting my throat.
The growler exploded everywhere after I put the lid back on.
It tasted like I was swallowing blood, and then I realized I was swallowing blood.
The greatest part of that article was they were kind of blaming the consumer, too. They're like, well, you know, the people don't put the growler back in the fridge. And
yeah, they deserve to eat glass. You eat all the glass. Oh my god, I can't believe they would actually even say anything like that. Must have been owned by Greg Cook.
I believe it.
But like I said, I give them props because unlike Smirnoff Ice, they didn't do it a third time to get fucked again. It only took them 2 times to learn not to do it.
Would you, too, man. It's cheaper to buy a 6-pack than a growler.
Yeah, what are you drinking, Brad? Brad the Hitman Hot?
Nothing yet.
What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, that's almost as bad as Big E and his Coonan water.
Joe, what about you? I'm beyond Coonan water now.
Holy crap.
I drank Hibiscus Goza from Boulevard and then Lazy Hazy Cider Shandy from Woodchuck.
2 beers
So,
and 1 nacho?
It's an apple cider shandy.
Sounds like shit.
A little cider.
It was like 50-50 split. Like you got cider and then you got like lemonade. It was really confusing but really refreshing.
Gross.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't as gross.
I don't
your
like
shitty
cider.
Fork
I don't
River
like,
beer.
I don't like lemonade. Oh no, it's wine Stefan or an apple.
You don't like cider? I did not know that.
Not really.
You know what I started the night off with, Brad? Just for you? I started the night off with this.
He's showing you his ass right now, just to be clear.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's what I started with.
Well, that's probably equivalent of what that was in the can. It's his ass.
That's another thing. I drank fucking a whole bottle of Old
And then you went to Apple Arita.
Yeah, and then you went to totally fucked up.
No. I didn't drink it. I offered it to you. Then it's like, I want that. Do you want fucking Shock Top Apple too? Yes, I want that too. Fine. So then I went to the Hop Top whiskey with Pepsi.
Whiskey.
With whiskey. Whiskey.
White beer. What?
So Hop Top whiskey with Pepsi tastes like fucking milk chocolate.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
I think Jordan's doing a live review right now.
Hopped whiskey and Pepsi tastes like chocolate?
Chocolate milk.
Orange candies.
Holy fuck.
Orange candy.
You know what?
That's pretty fun.
You should go into work tomorrow and be like, you know what? I heard a guy tell me that our whiskey and Coke taste like chocolate. That's what we should advertise.
No, chocolate milk. Chocolate milk. It actually it somehow created lactose in there as well.
I thought he said milk chocolate
It's like
at first,
a
but he is
miracle
French,
science.
so he could have meant it backwards.
There's either chocolate milk or milk chocolate, and it's all wrong.
It's actually Cousin Pascal inventions. If Pascal, don't do it. Don't fucking Pepsi and that. He's like, fuck you, I'm gonna do it anyway, because in French, right? Because he's got cousin French. Then no, it actually tastes like chocolate milk.
I'm gonna send it right up to marketing tomorrow.
Yeah.
See what they think.
Cousin Pascal's whiskey.
Hopped whiskey does a body good. I mean that's
What? Whiskey.
Whiskey.
the hopped whiskey.
No, it's what? Whiskey.
Whoa! You get a little racist now. You were quapped whiskey. What is that? That's not stuff.
Jeez.
I love that. No one cares. They're all testing me. They're waiting to see if I hit the stop button.
I'll see if we have any comments.
We just need Dusty Rhodes in here, and once he shows up, you know.
No more comments.
Talk about hard times.
Hard times.
Fuck.
Do I drink another Arabla, or do I have my very last can of Innocent Gun Original?
Ooh, last can of original.
Go the original,
excited.
baby.
Original, see if it tastes any good, daddy.
Chat away to mix them all together. You feel this latte?
Get some hopped whiskey. I'm sure it'll talk. Turn into strawberry milk. Get some strawberry milk up in here.
No, mix together like Cousin Pascal.
I don't want to mix Cousin Pascal in my drink.
It's too late to get them mixed
Don't
together.
know until you try it.
Yes, very nice.
I know I do not want Cousin Pascal in my drink. I know
You like
that.
curds? You like curds? You like Cousin Pascal's?
I don't like curds.
Yes, you do. I've seen it firsthand. Chad's like, I'll take a double order of breakfast fries. Cousin Pascal on top.
Keep it in the family, Key.
I'm already in the family since birth, fuck.
Feel like the appropriate time to hit offline would be right about now.
So there we go, folks.
Oh, hang on. We got a comment. Didn't go offline yet.
Got a comment.
Got a comment.
Oh, wait. No
Lou,
comments.
Lou
Fuck the
Brew,
viewers.
who is a friend of Massive Beer Reviews, Lou Brew, he said that this is the best part of the show.
What part of the show?
When we talk about shit.
When we go offline, right, Lou Brew? That's
You go off there, it's the best part.
There you go. It's mixed together, and actually, the color stayed the same.
Nice.
Yeah, get a little bit of maple in there, baby. Maybe some of that nice vanilla and oakiness from the extended barrel age of 17 days. Oh baby.
15 days.
Anything cut original. We just throw oat chips in there, baby, randomly, just at the top.
Handfuls here and there.
Over here, True Republic's Roundhouse Kick Imperial IPA.
Oh, so Mr. Jordan here posted a whole bunch of beers he picked up for his review channel, and one of them was called what was it? White Combine? No, something White Combine. What was it called? It was a 3-word thing.
Great White Combine by
Great White Combine, and all I could think of is if I ever reviewed that, the fucking trolling I would get and the claims of racism and everything else because of an albino guy reviewing a Great White Combine.
That is pretty racist.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So, I need to send that out to you.
No, I don't think I could do that online. I'd lose my channel.
Chad, surprised you've already lost your channel.
What?
Yeah, I should not have mixed those together. Oh.
I blame Guy. This is why you never listen to a Frenchman, but also a drunken Frenchman.
Especially Guy.
I don't know if I can never drink Innocent Gun again. Oh my god, that's gross.
Yeah, Innocent Gun is amazing. You're crazy.
Yeah, you don't have it mixed with maple beer right now.
I think
Well,
the
then
best,
yeah, there you go.
I think the best part about Innocent Gun is that they're very consistent, as in all their variations taste the exact same. So,
Yeah. That's
I had to disagree.
Like all stone beers. All stone beers taste the same as well.
I wouldn't say all their
must be the heat.
taste
That
the
is
same.
ludicrous.
A lot of their variations do taste the same. It all matters really if they're using the exact same base beer or if they're not. And for a lot of the beers, it is the exact same.
He has officially hit the he's about to fall face first on his floor level of drunkenness right now.
That was fantastic. Keep doing that, sir.
Out comes the didgeridoo.
Has he ever pulled that out on a review, I wonder?
No.
Dude, drink.
That's when he does his Foster's review. Super can.
That'd be a great idea for an intro.
I think Guy is taking over for Lee, because Lee usually has a tendency to start okay, and then within like an hour and a half he's shit-faced.
Well, he's filming his podcast right now.
Floating head.
I didn't do anything. What are you thinking about?
Oh boy.
All right. That's enough. I'm out of here.
You're not out of here.
We're still online, and Paul is not even showing up. What is this?
I know. Well, Ethan showed up, so that's pretty close. It's about the
Well, did Ethan really show up, though?
same. I know.
I haven't heard a 4-year-old topic yet, so until that happens, not officially.
Okay, so we have 3 viewers. We have 3 viewers. Yours is leaving. For those 3 viewers, if I don't get a question or something to make us continue on in the next 3 minutes, well, next minute, I'm going offline, and we're just going to be stupid offline.
Actually, Ethan just sent me a note. He said, "Hey, did you guys hear about the guy in the Hyundai car that got pulled over in LA and got beat with by the cops?" That's what he just asked me about.
Oh, Rodney King?
Yeah, I believe he's talking about Rodney King. Oh,
All right,
yeah.
guys.
Bye, Ewert.
Ethan getting trolled without even be there. That's
No,
fantastic.
I'm just making faces at the camera right now. That's why I turned it off.
Why are you making faces at the camera?
Because. And by faces, I mean my ass. My arse.
This is really creepy.
I'm glad I can't see it.
Keep talking, Joe. Just keep talking.
Oh, he's jerking off.
Oh my God.
Did you not see the tagline of this video when you came in here? My horn is hanging out right
There
now.
you go. See, I'm going with the logo. There you go.
Just keep talking,
So,
Joe.
I need a vector image and a high quality image of that poster.
The big one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you up.
There you go, Joe. The Gourd Standard Pumpkin IPA from Flying Dog.
What?
Whoa!
What does it taste like?
It's a pumpkin
IPA.
I
The
haven't
top
tried.
4 pumpkins I ever had was when 6 Point used to do their automation,
I
and then
had
they changed the
Ballast
recipe.
Point's pumpkin down.
The Scotch
Yeah, it was
ale.
good. I liked it.
Pumpkin Scotch ale.
Yeah, it was really good. It was more. Let's just say it was more Scotch ale than it was pumpkin at all. Which
Hey,
I
look,
really
you're
liked.
wearing a broken stick shirt.
Okay.
I didn't even notice that.
What are you drinking now, Brad? I know you got something, baby. You just got some of your homebrew, baby. Is that what happened?
Some apple cider.
Apples. You made your own apple cider?
Yeah.
Apple cider?
I might have to go and buy another brewing kit and start brewing again because
He got the book. He's got the fever.
Somebody may have puked in the last brewing bucket, and he will not brew in that brewing bucket ever again.
Not even boiling.
No matter how much cleanser I put in it, I will not brew in a bucket I puked in.
It's so frothy, right?
That was you did see that video, right? That was the brewing bucket. I did rinse it out and use it as a slop bucket at a beer festival, so.
No. That was huge.
Not cool. At all.
It's a good size pail to puke in, though, that's for sure.
Oh, it is. The best part about puking in that bucket is when you're using it when you're on camera and you're puking in that bucket. It really amplifies the sound. So.
A puking megaphone.
Exactly.
Pukeophone.
Alrighty, well that was our minute. I don't think we have anything new. So
let me refresh it here real quick and do whatever.
Someone said something.
Yeah, no more questions. Blue Brew is the last one on the YouTube.
Alrighty, so to the 3 people that are there still, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening. We're probably going to stay around and be stupid for another hour or two.
Bye. I love you all.
Arigato, Robusta.
It's a big old piece out.
Bye-bye.
Aloha.